the road stuff.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are we doing?
No, I just said hello.
Oh, Joe Fudge, what a day!
What a day! What an eventful day. Not much has really happened today, I don't think. There's been no news.
No big deals.
No big announcements.
Are you guys doing a bit? I have not been on any.
Yeah.
That's true. He's been streaming the whole time. He missed it.
Usually we'd have the rule not to talk about the OGL and stuff, just so people don't get so bogged down in the depression of things. But actually, there was some positive news today, where the OGL 1.0a is no longer being deauthorized, and also everything in the SRD 5.1 is under the Creative Commons license, meaning that it's all free to use forever.
Dude, imagine fumbling so fucking bad, falling down a flight of stairs for about 3 weeks straight.
Yep.
And then they get up and they're just like big thumbs up, and then they walk back up the stairs again, and you're like, fair enough. A good news day, and it means we can play some D&D in peace. So a good shout out to all of that wonderful fighting done across the internet over the last few weeks. That has obtained a pretty good result. Yeah.
So, talking of Dungeons and Dragons, welcome out to episode 29, everyone. Good to see you.
Wow.
Has anyone got anything they want to shout out before we dive into today's episode?
It pisses me off.
Well,
I had to think, but no.
Then
maybe soon.
Maybe soon? Okay, yeah, for next week, so Tamara doesn't get angry at me again for asking. Look, Tamara, this game has announcements every few weeks, okay? If I skipped over that question, people would be like, oh, we have to do it.
Yeah, no one's going to be like, hey, hang on, I have something to shout out.
Yeah, no one's going to interrupt. They'll feel bad. They'll feel bad. You better have something next week, Tamara.
I get it, man.
Damn. Then, if there's nothing to shout out, does anyone want to read the recap as we get started into today's episode?
I did it last week.
I can't read.
Oh, that's so sad.
Roll me a deception check. You're reading it if you don't get above a 15.
Can I roll it as what I believe my charisma in real life is, or do I have to roll it off the fucking Willoughby?
What do you think your charisma in real life is?
Confident.
Are they?
I think a +2 at max.
Okay, I'll give you. Yeah, sure. You can have a +2.
All right.
Yes, dude.
Wait, what does Willoughby have?
-2.
Yeah, minus.
He's a tree man.
-2.
It's a 9.
Oh.
That's a tomato volunteering to read it. Come to the front of the class.
I trudge up to the front of the class. On our previous adventure, we had just set off on the road northward and decided to take the lower plains path, leading us across the flatland, away from the mountain. On this route, we came across an obelisk, and in a great pit beneath it, 3 trolls were trying to bury another troll alive. We killed the trolls and rescued it, learning that the obelisk contained all of the souls of those the gods punished for not following them into the war decades prior. Solemn, but with our attention still primed northward, we finally arrived at the city of Burka.
Kind of fitting that Willoughby read that one.
Yeah,
actually, I think.
It's true. That is true. You've finally arrived here, kind of after spending a few days on the road in the wilderness, away from the majority of any real civilization. You came across small villages, some hamlets, and some kind of lone houses, but for the most part, it's been kind of a peaceful time. And it's almost all of a sudden, no build-ups of villages, the occasional farmstead you might come across. But all of a sudden, crossing over this hill, you see in front of you the large, never-growing city that is named Burka. The city that has the namesake for the entire region around where you are. This city, as I described before, is a massive statue of Frigga pouring a jar or urn kind of filled with water, ever pouring out, creating this unnatural waterfall that slams into the great lake below it and causes kind of great ripples around that. The dockyard is almost built in a kind of a horseshoe shape around where the waterfall comes down, coming from a good 100 feet in the sky. All of the buildings, though they stretch out across the ground around almost like a flowing dress to Frigga, they also build up the statue themselves as well, covering up most of where her legs were once exposed to just kind of great nature. Now it's actually buildings that you can use staircases, elevators that are designed through pulleys, even ladders build you up towards different buildings, all across up towards probably above her waist, some of them even going as high as kind of just her lower chest. Everything, though, in this city looks grandiose. It looks like the buildings are designed to be larger and broader. The architecture doesn't fit. It seems to be a bit more kind of multicultural in the way that it's got Mesogaran architecture that's been developed over the last couple of decades. It's got mostly Midgardian and kind of Nordic building and designs with anything from kind of brickwork and kind of hardened buildings and kind of thicker wood to your traditional hay building. The ships in the dock, as you kind of walk down the hill and start heading this way, you can see long ships. You can see ships from Mesogai. You can see Athelan basic ships, which are starting to get into the sailing age. And for the most part, Burka seems like a city that is an entire menagerie or a stew of all of the different portions of these worlds thrown together. And there's probably a good 30 or 40 just roads that lead out, going mostly northward, a couple heading south. Some even heading east. As this is a great trade city. You see merchants traveling the northern roads, some going onto ships. But the bustling gates of Burka are ever filled, with the guards not able to kind of watch everyone that comes through as they kind of pour through like water, draining down a glass. You're up on the hill, having seen the first bit of civilization in a while. What would you like to do?
Well, first question. We've been traveling for how long since the obelisk?
The obelisk was about a day and a half.
2 days since.
Okay, I'm just checking for long rest.
With that, is it? Yeah, okay, we can take a long rest.
You would have had a long rest.
Seemed like okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nice. I will click Le Boutin. Get my key points back as well.
Fucking camera. I'm fine. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I hate
really
camera
struggling
should
with
get
it.
really stressful.
Jesus.
It's really bad.
Sorry, you've got a great pose. It's
Yeah,
true.
it's
It's
true.
frozen on
Very-
a great one,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
it works
very
really well. I think like oh, go on.
This place is massive. I don't know where to start.
I mean, there's a bunch of places that looks like some Mesogaran buildings. I'm very curious to go and see what they may be and what.
Is that what it looks like there?
Some of it, it's kind of, you can see elements of the architecture of Mesogai. I can see some touches here and there, but it's sort of a mixture of styles. But I can definitely see some influence. I'm kind of curious to see that. But we should also maybe get supplies, I guess. I guess we have a longer road ahead of us to the north.
Yeah, that would be good.
Maybe get some information, see if we can learn anything.
Maybe get you a coat.
I mean, I guess I don't feel too cold right now.
It is going to
You
get
might
pretty
later,
cold, though.
and we're going more north.
That's true. After the
It's
event,
fair to assume that everyone should probably start dressing for the weather if that's something that bothers you.
That is, unfortunately, that still is a bother. So okay, I will fetch some winter clothes to travel in. Maybe I can get one of like your big furry cloak, Eldred. I very much like.
Yeah, this is a lifesaver for
Yeah,
real.
you need
It looks
one of those.
very
It
warm.
is
Yeah,
super
it
good.
looks... Oh, okay. What about the?
Sorry, I have a
No,
question.
yeah. I'm just waffling.
How much has Burka changed since Willoughby was? Like, how much larger? Was this like a much smaller
Ooh,
place
good question.
when Willoughby
Yeah,
was a human?
Yeah, I would say the last kind
How
of
tall was the statue of Frigga?
when you were a human, because this would be the last time you kind of came out this way. Yeah, massively so. With your kind of centuries of just servitude, there was a point where Burka was nowhere near as big as it is now. It was a kind of a smaller establishment. The statue was what really caused people to flock here, which was probably built in building by the time you were a human. Before that, Burka was kind of known as a stronghold. It had the pretty much the honor of being built north of where Fenrir was captured, and it was renowned as being a place where like people would go as a kind of an intermediary kind of crossroads. And so you'd have like an inn, you'd have some of the general kind of township that builds around a crossroads for the small amount of travel that would come in and out. I imagine from the Irevol where you come from, people would have traveled to Burka to get supplies from people heading down south from the north. Instead of those merchants traveling west and going over towards your home, Burka became the central hub of that. But back then it would have been like half the statue built. about a tenth of the size it is now. Definitely not a city. And lots of woodland also grown in, which has clearly been cut down. It's now kind of a clear plains of farmland and trade routes and roads. So yeah, it's massive in comparison.
Well,
Has anyone been here
than I
before?
remember.
Oh, you've been here.
Oh yes, I've been here before.
Oh, do you have like a favorite tavern or like?
There was the one.
Was it just the one tavern?
It didn't have a name.
Oh,
Just a tavern at the time.
like it was the only tavern, or it was like the only
was.
one you went to. Oh,
When I say this place wasn't really much of anything. All right, you went to my hometown. You didn't come around here.
You were here before it got big, before it got mainstream.
See that statue?
yeah. How tall?
I saw a guy slip off of scaffolding while they were building and break their neck while I was walking by.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep.
The other thing I was thinking, maybe this is a good chance to get some information. If we're heading north, maybe we can learn more about this castled city and this man that we saw, that Draven saw. Maybe we can try and ask
The guy with the
around.
the young guy with the old face, the old guy with the
I
young,
mean-
whatever way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have suspicions.
Wolf.
Yeah, but
Right.
maybe this is a good chance for us to confirm that, maybe, or see. I don't know if there's anything else any of you want to look into. I know with your sort of own pursuits and goals.
Actually, Joe, are there any people that look like they're of like a poorer lifestyle in the immediate vicinity?
I would say the outskirts. Well, actually, no, probably in between, like almost sandwiched between the city, because the outskirts would have a lot of the initial trading marketplaces and kind of some of the shops that are built up. Yeah. And then deeper into the city would be the older buildings. So the middle section is kind of this slums of almost, the tighter, cramped in kind of streets of where the most of the populace would live. And yeah, it'd become a little bit poorer there and definitely a little bit more hay building and kind of weaker wood.
Is it possible to like, in just seeing the way people are interacting in here, get a gauge of what like the poverty separation is of like different castes in this city?
Once you get down there, definitely. Yeah, once you guys enter into it, you'll definitely be able to see a bit of a difference.
Yeah, Draven will probably just elaborate that he's curious on what the separation is of those more well off versus not in a city like this that is so fabulous, and then also how that translates into individual perceptions of the gods in a place like this. Like, are those on a lower poverty line more like involved in that of deifying those above, or like is it those who are rich and well off and then want to retain that? And is there like a crossover in which gods that they tribute to?
Yeah. Also, if this like whole place is are there only temples to Frigga here? Are there temples to other gods? Like, do they even have a presence here? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. Also, a teeth shop.
I will
Don't
keep
forget.
my eye open for any sort of temple or shrine to hell.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Elena would keep an eye out for that as well.
Okay.
On the down low.
So I assume you're heading down towards Burka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go.
You would find yourselves
Let's go
wandering
around.
down the roads and heading onto the kind of mainstream, just trade paths, which have clearly been paved coming out as well. Again, a mixture of Mesogai architecture built into the roads, where they actually come up with these almost like beautiful sunset designs of just pavement, along with wooden platforms and designs that kind of would scream more Nordic. You make your way onto one of the trade paths and start heading down towards the city of Burka. The first thing you'd see is when you get to the gates is the slowing as you get towards the crowd, which is always just kind of bustling through them and almost like a traffic jam, the way that people kind of, look over each other and kind of stare and say, "Come on, move ahead," as the guards are just very slow letting people through. But that's kind of the portion of the slipping through that you would find the slowest, is the few steps at a time before you can actually get into the city. You're surrounded by various people who are some are bringing wheelbarrows which they guard themselves, others who are kind of carting in goods with horseback. the road here filled with horse droppings and kind of any cattle that they've been bringing through. And for the first time for many of you, maybe, is the kind of, not for necessarily any of you who come from Mesogaya, where these cities are far more common, but for those who come from the smaller portions of the land and kind of smaller villages and towns, you're surrounded by hundreds of people as they kind of come in and out of the city. There's not a great movement of like, these guys stay on this side, these guys stay on this side. It's very much a push through kind of situation. By the time you get towards the gates, after about 10 minutes of queuing and waiting your turn, you'd see the guards. And the guards here wear a mixture of leather, fur, some mail, warm enough clothing that if winter was to hit, they would be prepared, but just loose enough that it shows that this is kind of on the southern end of the north. Each one of them would wear a symbol, which you would see is a whispered finger, signifying Frigga and the secrets of Frigga. But by the time you kind of push through and get in, you kind of, find your backs and whatnot pushed against occasionally from some of the merchants who are trying to weave around and find a little quick way through. But the moment you actually burst through the gates, people separate into all of the different roads passing through. Burka is half a mile coming outward of just houses. And you'd see that this section, the first portion you're in, you see a few kind of shops and points of interest there. But as soon as you get into the city, people funnel out and going off into their own directions, leaving you with a bit of an open space over towards the side of the road. You can hear the calling of people selling their market goods, others setting up their stalls so close to the gates, where guards sometimes shut them down as they're getting way too close. They have to pay for that spot. You would see some merchants who are kind of just pushing their wheelbarrows along. So cabbages, fresh cabbages, picked this morning, come and get them. You can see people just taking any opportunity to sell and make the coin of the day. You stand over to the side, you can hear the bustling city, drowning out any nature there has been on your pathway down here. The city is yours, whether you want to go to shops, search around for temples, look around for people, like you said, casts and whatnot, wherever you want to go.
Joe, just quickly, you've said that there's like the architecture here has like Mesogonian influences, but are the people all Midgardian, or like are there?
Good question.
Yeah, do we see like any Mesogonian people
roll
here?
a perception check.
Sure. Perception check. That's only an 11.
With an 11, yeah, I would say you would see occasionally like the togas that you'd be familiar with, some of the blues and colorings that you'd see mixed in, but people are wearing furs and kind of other leathers and linens. Roll an insight check on top of that to kind of determine that information.
That's a 21. That's different.
It wasn't too hard to notice Mesogonians because they are frequent here. You can see their olive skin. You can see the kind of the complexion's completely different to the pale northerners. One thing you'd recognize from the outfits is that a lot of the Mesogonians here must have been here for quite some time. Their clothing is worn, tattered. They've already kind of inbuilt and mixed together the clothing that you would find in Midgard, especially in the north. Some of the furs are actually kind of stitched together with the togas and clean up some of it. You can see where togas have been lined with like a thicker layer, so actually they come across more like a kind of a tunic. It almost suggests that the Mesogonian culture and influence here has been here for at least over a decade.
Wow. Yeah, June doesn't really probably wouldn't even say anything because she's just like looking around. It's not something that I think she would like comment on like out loud. But yeah, shit. Okay. Definitely takes Juna's interest, but I'll throw it over to everyone else. What everyone else wants to do.
How many day is it?
I would imagine you get there quite early in the morning, like maybe like 8 a.m.
Really?
Okay. Well, where do we start? Do we want to find like an inn or tavern or something to just have a base to try to work out of, or do you want to just walk around and see what we see?
I think a tavern is a good idea.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, somewhere that we can grab a room if we do intend. I mean, if we're here late, we don't want to travel at night, right? So we probably want somewhere we can stay the night if we.
Consider our experience. Also a place to meet up if we get forcefully separated.
It's a good idea. Very good.
Okay.
Idea. Well, let's find that together, and then if we need to, we can split off and do whatever we want to do.
Let's look for the tavern.
The one.
Yeah. Let's see
Do you
if we
remember
can
where
find
it
that
could
one.
be?
No way that place ain't still open. There's no way.
I'm gonna look to see if I see like just somebody who looks like they live here for sure, which there's gotta be someone around us.
Sure.
I'm just gonna like flag someone.
Native
Hey,
worker.
Yeah, you see someone come over to you who's kind of you see they were doing some reconstruction work on one of the local houses around there, and they come over and wipe some sweat off their brow. A human man, kind of in his 30s. Yeah.
I have a question for you because you look like you are from here. What is the
don't wanna
oldest
buy
tavern?
anything.
No, I just want to know what the oldest tavern is here. Like, if you could tell me where it is, I'm interested in checking it out.
Oldest tavern. The Cradled Rest is a decently old one.
Looks it will be.
Wasn't the one.
Cradled Rest?
The
Where
place
is
didn't have
it?
a name when I was here.
Where is it? I mean, halfway up the statue. Doesn't serve
Halfway up the
alcohol though. If you want to go to get alcohol, there's a couple of places nearby which, a lot of smaller establishments which you can just find some room in. Otherwise, there's.
Wait, do a lot of places not serve alcohol?
No, Cradle Rest doesn't because it's up in the elbow of Frigga. It's a dangerous climb up and down.
Sure, and then if you got drunk, you would fall out the elbow.
If you want the best alcohol in town, it's below the falls.
Okay, well, it's early.
Willoughby would remember where the tavern was, the one that he knew. He would still
Willoughby
like,
was the elbow right there.
despite how different Burka is, he would still know. He would be able to recognize.
Oh,
It's right by the left foot or whatever.
to
Yeah.
the old place. That's where they're trying to go. But I mean,
Let's
it's
see
a
what's there.
400-year-old business. If
Let's
it's still
see.
open, they're doing good.
yeah, you could.
All right,
you
thanks,
could go towards where
thanks for your help.
Of course. And he goes back to his work and starts lifting more of the kind of plywood up.
Willoughby probably wasn't the elbow one, huh? Like if
I mean,
it
it
wasn't.
might have been. I mean, the elbow wasn't there when they were still building
well
the
then-
elbow. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember being over that way, and Willoughby will lead them towards where he remembered the tavern being the one tavern.
You carry on going through, and you find yourself passing through the majority of the city here on the outskirts. As when you were here, it never stretched out this far. It's been layering and layering and layering. And eventually you get to the point where you get to kind of the old town section of Burka, the portions where you can see all of the older buildings which have stood the test of time. Some of them collapsed. And you see the familiar tavern. You see it right there on a corner. Now,
I
in
can't
Midgard,
believe they're still open.
they don't have signposts usually outside of town, outside of shops and whatnot. It's not really done. People learn where all of the local shops are just through their own experiences. It's usually family, friends, or acquaintances and neighbors. But there's a sign here. It doesn't say inn though, and it doesn't say tavern. It says sign shop. And it swings back and forth. You see this beautiful sign that looks like it's in the shape of a shield and kind of a sword that hangs against, like the sword is almost stabbed into the wood, but it's all made of wood itself. And the shield kind of hangs across it as the swinging sign.
It's a strange name for a tavern, but I've seen stranger.
Yeah.
That's true. At least it's not something like, you know, the lion and the whatever, or like, you know, always those like generic names. Sign shop is a good, like, you would remember that as a name for your tavern.
Well, that or over the course of the last couple of centuries, their business went under and they turned into a sign shop, which frankly might be good. I had a massive tab at that place.
Oh, oh no, well they wouldn't recognize, right? Like you could go in
Might
anyway,
recognize
yeah.
the voice.
Well,
they
can you do
wouldn't,
different?
unless they were telling their children and their children's children about me.
A perfect replica of your voice
It was a
throughout the
sizable
generations.
tap. It's the kind of tap that would close a business.
Like they would have your image like behind the bar, right? Like don't serve this gentleman, make him pay before you give him anything. Like that kind of size of a tab.
What if you're the reason they're a sign shop now?
Oh shit! What if you put them out of business? You should
I
go
don't
buy
know
a
what
sign.
to say. I mean, frankly, they should have stopped serving me at a certain point. That doesn't seem like a situation that should
very
ruin
true.
their business.
It's very true.
Let's get a sign that said dead here. It'll just be fun.
Yeah,
Draven walks.
you should buy a
You heading
sign.
in?
Yeah,
Yep.
sure, absolutely.
We're all heading in. Let's all go.
You all step in together, and Willoughby, get hit by this strange nostalgia, but almost an uncanny valley of a lot of the building on the interior is exactly how it was before, but now instead of the tables, you can see almost these kind of almost like cabinets filled with different signs and designs. You can see the seating area that was once in the corner is now kind of locked off, and actually there's a room built there. And you can see the upper section is almost nearly all closed off, where any of the balconies that showed where you'd usually get a room are. And right in the center, where the bar once was, in this kind of almost oval shape, you see a series of signs hanging around this kind of central pillar. And leaning over a desk is a, when kind of clothing that's a little bit too big for him, is about an 8 or 9-year-old child with kind of scruffy brown hair. And you can see him kind of carving into one of these signs that almost looks like a fish. And he's just carving rods and... Oh, hello there. And come inside if you want. I mean, you're already inside, but if you want to come up to the desk.
Do you make signs, child?
I do, but...
Well.
Do you make custom orders?
Do I make customs? Of course. That's exactly what my shop is about.
I would like a sign that said fucked around and found out.
Fucked around and
That's
found
the spirit.
out.
Yes.
All right. Any particular design you want for this thing?
Oh, like what shape?
I would like it to be something that can fit around someone's neck.
Okay. Are we going for some sort of like...
Circle you can put on
Is
a
this something we should
string.
get in a
Like
batch
placard
order? Because I feel
size?
like we're going to want
Yeah.
to do this multiple times.
We want to make it look like it's kind of like this is a name tag. Is this more of a kind of
It's
a
for shaming.
shaming?
Can you make it
Okay.
look like a big old steaming pile of shit?
I could
Yeah,
do
like
that.
kind of ominous, because you don't want to fuck around and find out.
I could definitely do that.
Right.
Sure. And he takes out like a big piece of wood and struggles to put it on the
Juno,
side.
what's wrong?
Is it normal that children own shops and run shops in this around here?
I'm actually.
Are you-
Hold on. I'm not a child. Well, I wasn't always.
What?
You're new in town. Why would you need a sign already if you're new in town?
It's for. I plan to meet people here.
Lots of people fuck around and find out.
Yes.
It's true.
Well, right now there's a bit of a curse going around the town, so be cautious.
Oh, like what?
There's a curse.
You turn into
Yes.
a child?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Oh, really?
How long?
Okay,
and
we
how
need to know
long
the
has this-
details.
and how long has this curse been going around?
Okay, you don't have to worry, because if you get turned into a child, you're like, you don't do
Sibling.
anything. You're like a million
Listen,
years
I
old.
just don't buy it yet.
I
How
was
long has this
never a
curse been
child.
going around,
on.
kid? I'm not gonna get pranked.
I'm not a
first
kid.
thing
I'm
coming into my
37.
Insight check.
You're only such-
I'm inciting hard on this.
I mean, the kid looks adamant about it, for sure.
Juno is convinced. Juno's just like, I need to know about this. I don't
bet
want to be a child again.
Older than
That would suck.
37.
You're 37 and now you're what, like 8? Like that took off. Is it just
It varies depending on the people who drank the water. It's happened for about.
water will be.
I'm not drinking any fucking water.
We're 3 weeks into this now,
I
but
drink.
So, no one drinks any water unless I pure.
All right, hold on. Let them tell us what is going on, please. I'd like to know.
first
Sorry,
of all,
go ahead.
I'm a very capable sign maker. I've done it my entire life.
8 years.
The one outside is really good.
You see him just kind of like lean down and start like drawing the shape of the shit on the square piece of wood. I'm very good at my job.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How new in the city are you?
Like today.
10 minutes.
Minutes.
No,
Yeah,
10
10
minutes, maybe 12.
Well, they've luckily signed it off now, and I realise the irony in that. They've blocked off the docks, but usually we could drink from the water that pours from the jar. One of Frigga's
statue
blessings. Yeah, exactly, a Frigga. One of Frigga's blessings upon Burka was a new tasting water every day.
Okay.
About 3 weeks or so ago, we drank from it as normal. I'm an early riser. And during that day, everyone who drank from it began to wake up the next morning as children.
Like, right. Oh, it took you till the next morning. You didn't realize.
It wasn't until the next time we closed our eyes, essentially.
Oh, till you woke up.
And the water hasn't changed flavor since that day, so currently they're undergoing an investigation on it all, and I'm sure it'll all be fixed soon, because it's very frustrating.
I can imagine.
To have to buy...
I mean...
It could, other than just you
even
being
if it
embarrassed.
was to be fixed, what are you hoping the next flavor is going to be old? So you get old again?
Right.
This doesn't seem like a curse so much as a permanent new
It's only
tradition.
been a few weeks, right? You
Not
don't
a
know.
curse.
Maybe you're still aging. You just get extra years on your life. Congratulations.
Extra
But you have
years.
to do like.
Go and tell my
like,
wife and my kids about that.
puberty
My
over-
child is 11. My child is older.
I'm gonna.
Hey, take it from me, a guy who's literally hundreds of years old. You'll get through this. It's gonna be fine.
Did your kids drink the water?
No. I
You
fetched it
didn't
for
want your
them.
children to have the blessings?
Did your wife
I
drink
didn't
the water?
know. It was no.
No, he didn't do anything wrong.
man
He just
did not.
like drinks the water like you drink all the time.
Sure, right, exactly.
I'm going to take the coin out of my pocket and
Okay.
just kind of start to wander around the shop back and forth a little bit and just say, that is a little bit weird, isn't it? That like, as I'm flipping the coin between my fingers, that like, the curse is that you turn into children. Like Frigga's whole thing is like, she protects children, right? Like that's like a big, like Frigga thing. That is like kind of an interesting curse, I say as I flip the coin up and catch it.
Yeah,
Acts
this
like a normal
curse sounds like it sucks.
Yes, it does. It really does. I'm looking up at my son. And he's older.
Maybe you should just give him a little bit. And just give your wife also a little bit so you're like closer together.
I'm worried if a child drinks it.
So you drank just once. So did you drink from it multiple times during the day, or did you just drink the one
I had a
glass or the
few
one cup?
sips. I had a
You had
few
a few
sips.
sips. Okay.
It tasted like milk.
Do you know if
So-
other do you know if other people who drank the water, their age was reduced by the same amount?
Is there
Or
anyone that just went ham on that water?
Is it like relative
Just went
amount?
crazy
Is
on
it
that
20
stuff.
years?
I don't
Is
know
We're
if we've-
asking him a lot of questions.
I don't know if we've looked at quantity, but there
I'm
are
so
people of
curious.
different ages. Yes.
Okay.
Do you know
okay.
who, like who would be looking into this? Like
Or the
we
secret
were
keepers
curious.
are. And
secret keepers?
No, Joel.
I don't want to get involved. I don't want to
I'd
drink
like
this
to
fucking
know
water.
who's-
I wouldn't
I
drink
don't
this
think
water.
I-
If
like
we get
20.
involved, someone's going to have to sip the water, and I don't want to deal with any of you.
I'm not-
You're like a child. That's
I
just
mean,
going
I
to be
was
obnoxious.
that
I might not
I can
exist
just
if I
look
drink
like
this
a
water.
child
I might.
now
or
anyway.
explain your way.
Why are you talking
Secret
about
keepers,
it's
huh? What
not
is
a,
it?
not a
Like-
fountain of youth. You wouldn't drink the water.
Yeah, no, that is. I'm just curious. I just like to know things. So secret keepers, huh? What are they like? The
They are
mystery
servants of the
police?
secret.
servants of this. That makes
they
sense.
are-
Why did I ask that?
Yes, they're the above guard patrol of the city. They keep
There's
it.
like a
Well, they
below
have a
guard?
no. Yes, there's guards of the city, and then there's the secret keepers. They are servants of Frigga, and they serve the secret. Our leader of
Right.
Burka.
Two things. One, what is your name?
I'm Aldrid.
Aldrid. Aldrid, may I see your hand, please? To purely see if there's something I can do to help negate this curse.
Puts his hand up on the desk.
Okay.
I'm going to lay on hands 5 points to confirm that it is neither a poison nor a disease.
You express the magic into it.
Mhm.
Goes through him. Nothing happens.
I
Okay.
guess to follow up with that, Wildy would also cast Dispel Magic to see if this is a magical effect specifically.
Nothing happens on him.
So it's not a curse nor a disease. And it's not
Looks
just
like-
magical.
Looks like it might be permanent, my guy.
What?
Well, curses, dispel magic wouldn't necessarily get rid of a curse, right?
Tomorrow I could attempt.
But if it was like, we know it's not like a polymorph then at least, though.
Yeah, it's not a spell. It will be like a
narrowing
curse.
the options for what this could be. Right?
Aldrid, if it is the water that is like coming from the thing, like are there like guards posted around so nobody could drink it anymore? Could I just go up and like take a drink if I was like, I'm so tired of responsibilities of being an adult?
I mean, they're blocking it off. They don't want anyone to go and drink it.
Where does the water come
That won't
from?
stop you, Lena.
Yeah.
Is there a
just like to
source
know
besides the statue? Where does it originate?
No, Frigga blessed the jar that pours into the into our lake to always change flavor every day,
Is the source.
God magic.
all the way up there.
I mean, are there little fish in the lake now that are tiny too because they're just using this water?
Like if I bathe in it, does something happen?
Don't know.
Does my skin turn younger?
Ah, maybe it's just like an age
forgetting.
defying to wash your face.
You guys just need to eat more olive oil in your meals, and you'll have a great skin. Don't worry about it.
Do you
don't need no
carry
magic water.
olive
My skin
oil
looks so
around?
Putting it
Yeah,
on
of course I do.
and just
Yeah, she
eat
pulls it
and
out at like every meal.
Yeah. She literally holds up like a little gourd.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Like
didn't
a
realize
gourd
you were
of
rich.
like wrapped up. Huh?
It's
I
pretty
didn't
good.
realize you were so rich. That's so expensive around here.
Ah, you know, I have to bring it with me. It's a delicacy back from where I'm from.
Oh, you just came over.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Any more questions
Seems like
for
throwing out the
Aldrid?
sign.
Honestly, I feel like Aldrid is one of the last people we should be asking these questions to. I think we've exhausted the amount of answers Aldrid's going to give for us.
How long
No
will the
offense,
sign take?
Aldrid.
I guess.
If it's just a small side, 10 minutes.
Oh shit.
How much?
Should we get a batch of these?
Uh,
I don't know. I feel like we're going to want to use that sign multiple times. We're going to have it once.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is
Oh,
a
I was
good idea,
planning on putting
Draven.
it on people that we like.
Yes. Do we
Yeah,
get a discount if we order these in a bundle?
I could work with that. Yeah,
Hell yes.
that's fine.
Oh shit.
How many can we get for 5 gold?
For 5 gold, I could make 3.
I put down 10 gold. We'll be back tomorrow.
Great. All right, I'll get
A
you.
lot of people fuck around and find out around these parts, dude.
So far, Aldrid, your carving looks like shit.
Thank you.
Mm.
He goes back to start carving.
After everyone sort of begins filtering out, Juno's just gonna kind of like, not like I want to kneel down. I don't want to like look down, like look down on him like he's a kid. I kind of get down on a knee. I'm gonna put a hand on his shoulder and just say, you know where I come from. I study wisdom and philosophy, and there's something that I've really been trying to adapt in my life and in your circumstances. I want to see if I want to pass this wisdom on to you.
Okay.
There's a philosopher in my land called Aristotle, and he told me that the ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. I know that this form is not ideal and that there are frustrations, but there will be great benefits to you if this does not change, if this does not go away. You will be young and you will get to see many wonderful things, and you will get to experience life that many others will not ever have again. So I know it is tough, but I hope that you will one day see the best of it. And I hope that, that you find peace in that.
That's very nice.
That is
Thank
what
you.
we are here for. You are welcome, Aldrid, and good luck. And Juno will head off.
He goes back to carving and he has a little smile on his face. So,
I'm not fucking drinking the water here. I'm
We're
only
not
drinking
Yeah,
this.
fucking
you know
water.
what?
I don't
Hey,
have to
do you
pay
guys
my
have,
tab, which is good.
I have normal
Do you guys-
water too.
Do you have
Okay.
any like how many vials do we
And
have? How many like
have
little
that jug,
bottles do
too.
we have?
I mean, I have 4 empty vials. Draven keeps vials on ready.
Yeah, I've
Draven
got
just
a bunch.
collecting
Many
I
of
might
them,
want to
dude.
let's see. I'm going to see
It's
if we
kinda weird.
go by. I've got a couple, but vials are kind of small. I'm just thinking like this water might be useful at some point later, and I might like to
Yes.
fill up
We
some
poison our
bottles that I
enemies with it,
purchased.
turn them into children.
Yeah.
And feed them to.
Oh, I don't.
It's gonna
well,
take a
okay.
whole day. How long have we ever been in a fight with any enemy for more than like
I've
4
st-
minutes?
Lena still has the coin out. I don't know. It might be kind of funny.
Poison them. To
What
death
happens if
before.
you give it to a god?
like a baby. God, I don't think about it. They already act like toddlers now. Like if they were then like, no, I'm like a tiny child. Anyway, I'm going to just keep an eye out for like a bottle shop or something. Get a few
you wait. It's going to like that vial's going to break and it's going to spill on you, and then you're going to be a tiny baby, and we're going to have to look after you.
If it spills in my bag, what happens to the bag? Does it like the bag de-age? Is it like contact? I got a lot of questions about this, so I'm going to find out.
For once,
I do not have find one of these secret people and talk to them.
The thing is, so Willoughby, right? Their name is like Secret Keeper, right? I'm gonna be like, hey man, what's the deal with this water? They're gonna be like, it's a secret.
Exactly.
And then they're not going to tell
us. This feels like we're just going to be.
Oh, I'm finding out. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to.
So we do want to know what's happening with the, right?
Yeah, because what if it's useful later? I want to take some water.
Juno, you are so goddamn nosy that you not wanting to know makes me more interested.
I am not nosy. I am curious. That is not nosy. People
set up this reverse psychology stuff where they don't want to get involved and they don't want to do things because they really do, and they know that because they don't want to do it, we're all going to want to do it.
I mean, I can just.
Is this a long con? Is that what you're doing, a con?
Listen, Lena, you're older than me. Draven, I don't know how old the fuck you are. Willoughby, you're like a billion years. I'm 21. I don't want to be a kid again. No fucking way. I like being a grown up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, babies don't have like
baby
good
water,
gross motor skills. Your punches are going to be everywhere.
Would not help me in my pursuit of wisdom.
It's harder to accidentally drink this water than you think.
Yeah, but what if it's like if it spills on you or something?
That's what I'm going to ask.
What if
I'm
it
going
rains?
to find that out.
You think it rains here?
Oh, so if it's coming from the jug, it's going to splash like.
And then rains down.
Yeah.
I want to learn about the wonders of the universe. I want to wonder about the motives behind people.
Loads more people would be.
Oh, so nosy.
No, if it was
you guys are like, baby water, let's go.
Because the thing is, right? Nobody had like the gates shut. If it was contact, they would have to quarantine all of Burka and to be like, nobody can come in or you will turn into baby. Like, it's a little bit of
you
logic.
Want to go get the baby water. I'm
going to get some baby water. Don't you worry about it.
Let's go find a tavern. Make sure we have a meeting point. You go get your baby water. I'm going to go buy some nice warm clothes.
Stop saying baby.
It's only like a child though. It's more like child water. Like.
Oh God, and it did taste like milk. Oh, this is bad.
Baby water.
I hate this town. I remember when this town used to be nothing, and it was way nicer than it is now.
Yeah, but you don't have a tab now, so you're safe to just walk around fine. That's good. Let's go find a tavern. We can get a non-water drink. I'll look for an apothecary on the way, and yeah, then we'll figure out what all we're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I need a drink after all that, even though it's morning. I tell you.
We got like magic items.
Water.
Yes.
We did.
Draven actually asks
one
if
that
he can
conveniently gives us water infinitely.
Oh, I've been thinking about that. I'm like,
What a decanter of endless water.
what if we just swapped them and they just never knew? I mean, they'd have to refill it every day, but hey, there's secret keepers.
Wait. Oh, is the jar?
Oh, the jar is massive.
Yeah.
The jar's up in the statue. It's like it's a good like. The interior is probably a good like 50.
House.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just full disclosure, I can walk on walls. Like I could just take you up there, specifically Juno, if you want.
No.
Okay.
Before we continue, we do have the magic gloves and the decanter and ice. Do we want to dish those out before we go any further?
We should do that. Also, is anybody afraid of heights? Like, what if we do have to go up the statue? Like, we should ask that now. We haven't been anywhere like really high.
Sorry.
I don't care.
I'm not afraid of heights.
No, doesn't bother me.
Do you ever get that thing like when you walk up by a cliff and you're like, I should just jump? No, I shouldn't, right? You have that moment where you're like,
Are you?
Come on, nobody else has ever thought that. Like, you've never been like on a cliff and you have that moment and you're like, it feels like maybe.
You have that moment where you think about flinging yourself off the cliff?
No.
Yeah.
No, I was the opposite. But I was convinced to jump. And I did. But there was water.
Wait,
so
what?
it was
Then you're fine.
What is going on today?
it's just jumping off a cliff into water.
You dived
It's
into the
nice.
sea. Oh, yeah, you dived into the sea, right? But it
Yeah.
was a high
Yeah,
cliff?
that's what I'm more meant
Pretty
like
high,
a cliff
yeah.
with like no water, like at the
With
top
like
of a
rocks
mountain.
at the bottom where you would
yeah,
die.
like where you would die if like you jumped off. But it's so
No.
high, and you have this moment of like, oh no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I do have a moment of,
just
oh, that's a bad idea. I would never imagine jumping off of this in a million years. That would be.
Oh well, no,
bad.
yeah. I mean, I just did imagine jumping off, but then I didn't obviously jump off. Like it's fine.
Are you alive?
Yeah. Wait,
show
why
of
make not
hands.
face like?
Who here is technically alive?
Yeah, I mean, I'm alive. Do you want to check?
Actually,
No,
wait.
I'm still need to check.
He thinks about it himself.
Raven, you didn't. Just
What do you define? Like, to be alive?
That's fair.
a
What
good
do you
question.
define as alive? Do
a good
you
question.
have to be born?
I'm kind of operating on a new, like, alive is if you haven't died yet. So I'm kind of now like in a 50-50.
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't died. If that's a criteria, for sure, I'm alive. I mean, I'm also alive, but definitely by that, I'm alive.
So you have to be, you can't have died, but you don't have to have been born.
I was born.
Yeah,
I have not
think
died.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
asking so many hypotheticals that make me think
well,
you weren't born.
I mean, plants are alive, and plants aren't
That's
born.
true.
They're like,
And you
born
can't
from
be
the
like,
sea.
oh, does your heart beat or whatever, because plants don't have hearts and they're still alive. Like, see? Yeah, shit.
yes.
Uh-huh. So, magic gloves.
We got some wild gloves. We got some wild goggles.
gloves
And I got
make
this jar.
squares.
out of game, Gabe, Draven's already got a pretty high strength, right? So the gauntlets aren't going to do anything
It would
for him.
go up by 1 point.
Oh, okay, it's still worth it if it goes up by 1 modifier.
Well,
Or
I'm
like
18.
one
It would make me
total.
19.
Oh, okay. So no modifier change.
Yep.
Okay.
This
the
gauntlet would
gauntlets-
change my full understanding of my body. That would change me so much that it would freak me out.
Okay. So you're a no for magic strong gloves.
No.
I have a
Okay.
-1 to strength. I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You need
Willoughby
me to
goes
carry
into
that?
melee. So I think it goes to either
you
Lena
got-
or Willoughby, honestly, just because of the fact that we'll benefit from the added.
Well, you use
save.
shillelagh anyway because
Yeah,
you don't
so
get
I don't
it.
really need it either, unless I need to do an athletics check, which Willoughby wouldn't do. So I think
Yeah, that's
Lena.
true.
So,
Yeah,
so okay,
'cause my
here's,
dialogus means I don't need them because I can.
I
use my
say
wisdom.
Lena, especially because if you have to make a strength saving throw.
Yeah, the saving throws what I'm thinking
That'll be
because
good.
that's
Let's see.
athletics. If you get grabbed as a rogue, you're in trouble.
Well,
All
then you
right.
can acrobatics out, but yeah, it also means that you can't get like pinned and restrained and stuff.
Yeah.
She's not going to say no to some cool stuff.
The strength of.
Is it going to make you grow muscles? Like, is it
Oh,
visual?
shit. No, I can kind of
That'd be cool.
anyway, and I just sort of grow like one muscle on
Oh,
my own.
don't do just the
Slightly.
one. Come on, do the
You
whole.
guys are
Don't just.
acting so
I don't-
weird
it's
since
just
we got to
like-
Burka. Yo.
I know.
Also, we should really walk and find a tavern and not just stand in the
I
middle.
assume
yeah,
that we're
let's-
always
yeah.
walking.
Yeah.
We talk.
Walk
No, I
and
know.
talk.
I
Walk
think
and
you're
talk.
walking
we're
as well.
walking and talking places.
But, you know, Lena, though, the muscle look is very good on you. I gotta say, it's very nice. It's very
thanks.
good. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I prefer to be like a bit slight and kind
Just
of lean,
interrupt
so
us,
like
Joe.
nobody
Just
really
interrupt us.
notices.
He's doing the
What?
DM thing where he's like,
That's
even
when we
the
go,
best
"Oh,
kind of
there's the
session.
tavern."
Yeah. It's
He's
where,
like, I don't have to do shit.
what kind of inn are you going to go for? Do you just want to go for a standard one? Do you want to go to below the falls?
First one
Do you
we
want to go
see.
to the? Okay.
Below the Falls has good booze, right? I don't know. Let's go there.
Yeah.
How close
Gonna be
is
a lot of
below the
people.
falls to the
Yeah,
statue?
you don't want to go to a place that's directly below the falls. It, sounds like this
technically
week.
it's
Rita's
below
like,
the
let's go below
falls.
the. I want to go right by.
Yeah,
Maybe
let's do that one.
You know what?
Raven, you want to
You want
go?
to be in the splash zone of the
no.
curse.
I want to know if it's contact. It's not going to be contact. I want to know. And you know how we'll know? We'll walk right up and watch and see what happens. You don't have to walk right up. You walk up to the edge
Do you think-
of the
what-
splash zone.
I don't
and
want
then you
to.
watch.
Juno doesn't want to go near the splash zone unless this is all still some reverse psychology bullshit.
I don't.
But I don't think it is at this point.
That's
I
fair.
can tell they're fearful.
Hey, wait. Juno, do you want to put on the goggles we got? Maybe that will help. This, like, maybe they help
How
your
would that-
eyesight.
I mean, yes, they will help my eyesight. How will that stop the baby water?
Maybe it would help you know how close you can get, or you could,
Alternative idea. Let's go to this other tavern that is not by the splash zone. Let's go there.
Something very curious, actually. With the gloves of cubecraft, you would technically be able to take a cube of the water. And that's
Ice?
if it's considered non-magical material, the curse might be separate. Joe, have fun thinking about that. You did this.
You made the Minecraft gloves.
It would pour out afterwards, but yeah, you could technically lock liquid into a solid form for a moment, yeah.
That just seems like fun. Somebody needs to do that at one point with some water.
I think it'd be a good thing to do because it'd be a good way to look at it from all sides without it moving constantly. Like when it's coming down the falls, because when water's in motion, it looks different than if it's settled and such. Scientifically, that's Gabe's thought. Draven says it in a way that sounds more like gods, but
might as well try it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So just a question, because I think you're split on this. Which inn do you want to go to?
Tell me what
zone. Let's go to the splash zone.
Is it called the splash zone? Is it like an adventure, like Dave and Buster's kind of is there a go-kart track? What is
Joe, let me just put a point here right now. If we start moving to this inn and Juno starts seeing more and more children, she goes to another inn.
There's an orphanage next door.
People, kids in that area, she's gone. She is out of there.
Because she can't swim, right?
She's afraid of water. Yeah, she's
afraid of water.
She can swim. She can swim, but she's afraid of water.
She's afraid of water, and this water turns you into a baby. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so
guy got reduced by 20 plus years. If that happens to Juno, I don't exist.
All right,
I am
so here's the deal.
Baby.
We'll go to the waterfall one unless we see any babies, some stray babies crawling along the sidewalks. Because if that's the case, then it seems to me that the waterfall is kind of a proximity.
If there is a ton of children there, I'm out. I'm gone.
Do you feel like nobody's going to just let stray babies crawl and really you would not expect to see that in any city, but yeah.
These babies have supervisors. They were originally adults, presumably in this hypothetical. So
I feel like
that baby would be a lone stray baby. They would have no guardian.
They would sweep them up. They're not going to let
But the sweeper would also be a baby.
I want to keep an eye out
because they didn't drink it.
If we see more grown babies, I want to be sure that we're not seeing any consistencies between them. Is it elves? Is it dwarves? Is it humans? Is it people who look like they're Mesogaian versus Midgardian? Is it that hypothetically the Midgardians are affected by this, but Mesogaians don't seem to be? That's something he's trying to see. Is there a consistency to this? That logic, partially he's doing because he's curious, but he's also more doing that for Juno as a potential reassurance that there is some logic to it.
I mean, that would help. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the walk as well, unless anybody objects, Juno, I would like to attune Juno to the Eyes of the Eagle, because I don't think, unless anybody else really wants them, I know Willoughby. I was thinking Willoughby might have wanted the decanter. I don't know, but unless anybody is super keen, I think Juno might take them.
You can have Draven lets you. Draven originally was taking them, but you can have them because he sees that you're concerned. That's where the love comes in.
Okay, nice. I appreciate it. Or would Willoughby want them? Because I don't want to just take them if other people want them.
Which thing? Sorry,
the Eyes of the Eagle.
Don't care.
No, okay.
All you.
I would like to.
I have those rings that we have. I think it's good that we all divvy out our stuff somewhat evenly. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the decanter.
I guess I'll tune to the
I drink
strength
water,
clubs.
though.
Do you want it? Do you want
I kind of want the decanter.
You literally just had this whole damn speech.
If you want it for a spell thing or whatever.
No, I was just gonna force someone to drink.
I was looking at it from also one, only food source Wilby needs for his character.
True,
and two, he has shape water, the cantrip, which is cool because that means he can do fun stuff.
Nah, I was just gonna drown someone.
Whilst you're walking and talking, you're passing out things.
Drown someone. You just need to cooperate.
Juno,
yeah.
Walk past a woman holding the hand of probably an 11-year-old boy as they kind of walk past. Come on, this way. And he looks up and goes, He just kind of smiles and roll an insight check.
Oh no.
Do you know an insight check too?
19.
Sure, yeah.
19. Joe's fucking with me.
Say with the 19, you can tell that one was probably a kid. That one was probably a real kid.
Okay.
But then there's a moment, another child starts walking by.
It's like paranoia at this point.
Yeah.
Like, Juno sees every kid and is like...
You see another boy walk past and he starts doing this.
He misses his facial hair.
And you can see the frustrated walks past. But as you guys are closing in on the fall, you can hear the kind of splashing of the loud water coming down from the jar and kind of causing this beautiful waterfall at the bottom of the docks area. And you're kind of coming out into the main section, the main circle, right below the statue itself. You can see the shadows pushed back away from the city, and it's beautiful in its massive grandeur. Go ahead and roll a perception check to look for kids.
Yo, you get like extra power with that now.
22
little
advantage.
Kids from really far away now.
It's like Juno's like, cha-chunk.
There's a baby 500 feet away from me right now.
Southeast.
I like, by the way, in my head, I know that these are technically from Midgard, but I like the idea of them almost looking like the Artemis owl from Clash of the Titans and stuff, kind of having like bronze kind of like owl almost motif.
Well, then we'll say
something
as
like Athena.
When you attune to them, they kind of match to your kind of theme and like
Style
they almost
and
kind
thematic.
of turn into that.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
With your 16, 24 especially, you can notice it's
22.
kind of the opposite. Once you get closer to the falls, there are like no children around. You see there's guards lined up all across the waterway and who are being paid to protect people from going. There's almost like walkways that lead out to the water, which is where people would usually go and kind of fill their buckets, and the guards block off those areas. But it's almost like every mother and father had the same thought as you, where they're like, I can't let my kid go near this because I don't want them to just disappear if they accidentally catch a drop. So it's actually the opposite effect. You get closer and you realize there's no children around, and the kind of guards are telling people, no, long way around. But when you get there, you don't really see an inn. It's kind of an open area where the dock's kind of almost built on. You can see where the wood turns to stone. There's seating areas. There's kind of little smaller kind of lit braziers and this kind of like walkway where it's kind of a crossroads of a kind of a central square where people can go into the different sections of the town. But there's no real tavern there when you arrive. You don't see a tavern below the falls necessarily.
Wow.
Oh, well, no tavern. Better go somewhere else.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I say to, I guess, a guard or whoever's standing there, baby.
See-
Excuse me.
you see a guard walk over. Yes?
Hi, I'm new in town, and somebody recommended a tavern with a really good alcohol called Below the Falls, and we just assumed it would be here below the falls.
It is. It's
but I don't.
underwater. You have to go over
Oh,
to...
shit.
He points over to one of the houses nearby. You go through there
I get it. Below the
and
falls.
head in the tunnels, and you get down to it.
Oh, it's a tunnel. We don't have to like swim. It's just like you take a tunnel
So-
under the
Of course.
lake.
Is it like leaky? Is there like going to be leaks of?
Can you
No.
swim in that?
It is magically protected. It is a building sunk to the bottom of
Oh.
the lake.
Hear that, Juno? It's magically protected.
That's
It's about
pretty
as safe
cool.
as it can be. From
My good man. Excuse me, good sir.
Yes.
I must ask you a very serious question.
No,
and
you
I
cannot
am
drink the
genuinely
water.
serious.
We cannot guarantee that you.
No, good. I don't want to drink the water at
Oh.
all. If the water touches you, do you turn into a baby?
No.
We
You have
ask
to
this
drink
in
it.
every city.
You
Can I
have to
inside?
drink it.
Can I
Yes.
16.
And you hear the guard say, "Another one asking it. Another one." You are perfectly fine to touch the water.
See, I said.
It is
I
also
Otherwise it's with-
I also insight.
okay. Yeah, he seems like he's frustrated. Like he's almost answered this question so many times. He goes, also, the way the water works from the jar is it only affects the water coming out of it. It dissipates when it hits the water after it ripples off.
Oh shit, that's pretty
The rest
cool.
of the water in
I
the
said
city
it
is safe. You do not have to
What
drown your
about-
fears in other
What about all
liquids.
the mist? All the mist coming out from when the water hits.
No, we just said if it hits the thing, it's fine. So it's only like the waterfront.
Okay.
We have not
Like,
seen
you're right, okay.
anyone become an infant from the mist.
From like inhaling water vapor or
And
taking a shower.
Have you seen? I asked a sign guy this, and I just want to double back on it. Have you seen anyone really just go crazy on the water, like really just run up there and drink a ton of it, and then just disappear?
We have had people who have, at least most of the time they've been caught before they can consume too much. But we have found a baby or two on the dock.
So they don't disappear, but they become like the youngest baby. They become like newborns.
It
Well,
might
if
be
they
a case
disappeared,
of...
they wouldn't be able to find them, would they?
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe they find like a little
have
tiny,
no-
like, you know.
considerable missing persons reports in the city currently. Though,
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
a lot of people come in and out.
Okay.
We do not suggest swimming in the water, just in case you were to
No.
drink back.
No.
Hey, do you know like what's going on? Like, do people fish in there? Like, is it all like tiny fish now?
The fish are fine unless they drink near the water source. We are not entirely sure. The fishing is
I
fine.
look
Most
over
of
at
it is
Willoughby,
done
like, yeah, the
far
fish
out
are
of the
fun
lake.
too. Like,
I could ask the fish. I mean, if we don't trust this guy.
If you're worried
trust
about
this
water
man.
in the city, though, there are plenty of water sources which are fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks
Like,
for your help.
genuinely like takes his hand and like shakes it like
Yes, of course.
Aw.
Wipes his hand and says, "Okay." Any
Wow,
questions?
dude.
You just ask.
offended. Okay.
Why'd you wipe your no?
Oh, I imagined it to be sweaty.
Let's go take like the tunnel. Let's go see the like magic tunnel
Yeah,
tavern.
beautiful.
Okay.
It's magic. It's going to be fine. Like they're going to ward that to shit every day.
So, are you
Think
good
of the
now that you've had
liability.
a voice of authority tell you how things are here in the city?
I mean, I examined the man. He seemed angry that he'd have to answer it, and I think that if you were lying, that you would, not, somebody would have caught him. I trust it. It is rare, not so much his authority, but more that having spoken to him in person, I believe him. Or you're going to say Draven? Sorry.
I would like you to use your newfound eyes to examine the water from afar if need be. And Willoughby, would you shape water twice? Once on the water in motion coming from the fall, and then a second time from the water still in the pool to see if there's any visible difference in the two.
I could try. Above board, I'm not sure if I can do two separate.
I don't mean at the same time. Just like once and then like a second one.
You want to see that if the water with the magic in it reacts differently to the mundane water, right? That's what
Correct.
you're
And,
kind of-
and like if it looks differently, if it reacts differently, he said it's pulled, then it stops. So Draven is like above board. Draven's wondering if it's like an object in motion. The motion is what's causing the magic. I don't think it's a time thing. I don't think it's how long it takes the water to get to the bottom, because that's so
Yeah.
relative.
Yeah, I mean, Willoughby would do it.
yeah, I mean, I can go to a distance and put the goggles on.
Guys, do you want me to lift like a bunch of water? The gauntlet.
Scary.
We could put it in like a big barrel. I can see if I could lift it now.
I want.
You step outside to do a perception, and the first bit of water you're going to check is just the normal water. Is that what you're asking?
Sure. Yeah. Let's look at the normal water.
Okay. And then specifically, you want to shape the water to see if.
Just pulling it out so we can see like an instance of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Almost like looking at a test tube, but like the test tube is the magical force
Got
lifting
it.
it out.
Yeah, you can when you pull it
Oh,
away
yeah,
from it,
slide
you
them
can
down,
see
actually.
that the moment you kind of shift and move the water away, it's already dissipated by the time you've kind of drawn it out from the fall itself. I'll go ahead and give you an Arcana check for it.
Okay.
Can we all make an Arcana check, or just Draven
Yeah.
and Willoughby?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't mind.
Because
That's better.
9, unfortunately.
7.
I got a nat one because I just keep
Wow.
looking at my
Yeah, you're just.
gauntlet
You're just
hands.
We
I'm
don't
just
have
picking
to-
stuff up. I'm
Come
not
on,
even
Elena.
looking. I'm just
I don't
picking
think
stuff
I
up and
know
putting it down.
anything.
That's fair.
We
yeah, if you
believe
wouldn't
in
know.
That's
Um,
fucking water.
It's hard
Yeah.
to say.
It's true.
Yeah, it looks like other water. There's a slight kind of energy to it almost, where it's like it looks a little bit more vibrant when it kind of comes down. But it's probably safe to say it's not a timing thing. Whether it be a magical effect that when it hits the lake, it dissipates, or if it's a case of it's just designed in a way that's kind of convenient for the person who's drinking it. It's hard to say. Some of it might not be scientific if it is formed from the gods.
Yeah.
At the very least, it does dissipate as soon as it does hit the water, pretty much.
Okay, so it's only the water that's falling out of the urn that has this magical effect, it seems. As soon as it hits the rest of the water, it changes. Okay.
I mean, is it possible that they haven't actually investigated inside the urn? Like, what if someone threw something in it?
I doubt they have.
I mean, could this just be Frigga doing something? Like, is she... Maybe she's...
but like, then wouldn't they say that? Like, it's the blessing of Frigga. It's so exciting. And I'll tell you about it so you can make a good choice and not just like...
Maybe,
surprise.
We should ask about any events happening unrelated to this 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Probably best place to ask is in a tavern.
Aye.
With good alcohol.
And there's still other things that we need to do in the town as well. I know Elena wants to go alchemy, and then Eldred, you want to go see if there's any temples here. And
look for tooth shop.
I wouldn't mind, Eldred, if you can help me get some warm clothing. You seem to know what sort of thing I might need if you would come with me.
Yeah, sure. I don't think I especially have any knowledge. You just find something that seems warm and you like the style.
Oh, well, you know, yeah, exactly. You know, you can advise me a bit better. I've never been to anywhere that cold, so I don't really know what I would need.
You seen snow?
No,
like
never
never.
Been. No, I mean Mesogaya.
Oh man, you're going to love it.
Atra is warm. It's sunny and warm, and our winters are a bit cold, but not this cold. You know, it's cold for us, but not cold for here.
You're going to love it. It's really pretty. And then after a while, you're going to hate it because your shoes get wet. And then you're like, this sucks. And I'm tired and I'm cold. Okay. But at first, it's great.
Okay. Well, wet doesn't mind me as much.
Well,
I'm from a harbor city. Harbor city, you get wet every now and then. So it's not a problem. Okay. Well, let's go to the tavern. Let's ask around. Then maybe we go do a bit of shopping. We get some pieces and things that we need. And then if you want to go steal some baby water, you can go steal baby water.
Oh yeah, that I am going to steal. I thought they were going to say like, I'm going to buy the bottles and stuff, but yeah, I guess I will have to steal the water somehow. I have to go to shit. I can't take it from the lake.
Or did I make that up?
What?
No, but I could be like pretty small.
I I might have my small companion take a look while we're in the tavern.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh.
You have a like thing, right? An invisible thing. Are you sure? Is it real? Do you know for sure it's real? What if you just think you have it and you don't?
That would make a lot of my childhood very confusing.
I don't mean like you seem like you know.
That's not a question I want to ask here.
Yeah, let's go to a table at the tavern.
Go look in the basin, and then he's gonna tell the sprite and assume it just goes up because it's still invisible.
What the hell? Can you see through its eyes?
I don't have that invocation, I think.
Okay.
It's part of the Find Familiar spell.
Is it?
I think so.
Well, if he's using Perspective the chain technically count as Find Familiar spell, or is it like an offshoot?
I don't know.
I'll double check. There is an invocation where you can like hear through as well.
I think it is.
I think like you even speak through.
Yeah. I think that's right. So it is as Find Familiar. Okay. So I should be able to like see through.
Okay. Yeah. And it's a distance of how long?
How far are you right now? 100 feet.
Which is pretty much from the base of the statue. That's about how high the basin is. Yeah, you would send your sprite up there as you're heading towards the kind of tavern entrance, which is a building which kind of just looks like it stands out as like a dockyard building. Are you looking through its eyes?
Yes, I am. Oh, you know what? Yes, that's separate. I can't communicate to them. I can just see through their eyes. The communicating with them is communication. Yep.
Roll a perception check as it flies up and up following the waterfall.
Let's go.
Going to look inside the jar.
Horrifying.
This will be through
21.
there one, yeah. Okay. Then, looking through the eyes of your sprite, you see the water filled on the inside, almost like always half filled in the jug.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, in a small little shelf on the back of it, there's a creature, a humanoid. And he's sat with his leg up on the shelf, one leg in the water, pushing his foot back and forth. His skin is salmon in color, a pinkish red that goes up to like a white. And beside him, ever pouring out, is a jar that's pouring a milk substance straight into the water. And he sat there just slowly taking these kind of little roasted nuts, popping into his mouth, humming to himself, kind of knocking his head back and forth. Idly kicking back the water.
Draven's probably holding on to Juno because he's not able to see where he's walking.
Yeah. Juno would have like her, like his arm in hers, and she's kind of guiding him around.
And then he'll just start describing. Oh wait, no, technically I'm fine because I have blind fighting. Ridiculous.
She can walk about like you just like
yeah.
Daredevil.
Draven will just start describing this verbally out loud.
Why is he eating nuts?
Hang on.
There's some guy
Yeah.
just in the jar.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up the sleeve of my arm, and I'm going to be like, "Is it gonna look like this?" And I'm going to
I don't know. I can't see.
drop the. I'll leave it, but I'll drop, I guess, this part of her form and just show the natural changeling coloration on her arm.
Does it look the same, Joe?
Yeah, salmon color.
What the hell?
And then I'll flicker it back.
Yes. Is that? Do you know this person?
I don't know. I would have to see them, but
I can show you what they look like.
Disguise self.
Yeah. You form into it. Roll an insight check, Elena.
21.
Let's go. 21 team.
You don't know this person, or you don't know them, but this was a face of one of the Nokken who lived in your village, not too far off. You didn't know everyone there.
Sure,
There's one person
it was a good-sized village.
Younger, definitely younger. Back when you knew him, he was probably 16, 17 years old. Now he's, a bit older.
I think I know who this is. I don't. It is a really familiar face. We should sit down and have a drink, and I will. It may be easier
I think we need to know a few things. I mean, I don't
You
want to pry, Elena, but
you know the weirdo that's currently poisoning the.
I mean, kind of. We're all weird. I don't know that I would say it like everyone is. Let's go sit down. We will get into the tavern, get a table, maybe in the corner, and sit down.
Aldrid, did you know she wasn't like a human?
Well, I knew she did some stuff.
Wait a minute. You already knew. I let you taste my blood, didn't you? Weren't you like that? Doesn't taste like. Don't people taste different?
Yeah,
Blood
everybody
tastes
tastes different. Like it doesn't matter about your species. You just
Right.
tell it. It's like I can't always tell the difference between fish or salmon. Jack
Well,
and
now
Carrie.
you'll know the difference between us and everybody.
Who is us?
Let's go get a table. I'll tell you.
okay.
God.
Heading into the kind of harbor house, you can see it's very simple. It's a kind of a small room as you step in with a single desk where someone sat behind it. This kind of quite broad man, kind of balding hair, a small kind of wisping beard. He looks up at you, all, kind of holding over his desk, and you see around the side is a staircase that leads all the way down. He goes, "Welcome to Below the falls, how many people are you bringing in?
We all just do that.
5.
Are you looking to stay in your own room?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be worth us.
That's what would be good.
We're probably going to leave in the morning, but yeah, a room for the night would be nice.
If you've got good prices.
Well, you can do with that down in the actual tavern itself. And final question, do you have business here?
Get a drink
What?
Not
and a
here.
room.
That's fine. Head on down then.
Okay.
Stay in the first room, please.
Okay.
As we walk by, I want to slip him 3 silver. More interesting things happening here.
Okay, 3 silver.
Yeah,
Roll a persuasion check.
deal.
Let's go. Come on, charisma boy.
Nat 2027.
Hey!
Heyo.
Takes the silver and puts it down below desk and goes, I appreciate a stranger that understands the customs of this place. Yeah, this is a place if you're looking for business. There is a back room where you might be able to find more less desirable things that you wouldn't find in a normal marketplace, and maybe work or deal with deal with the owner of the tavern.
Okay. And then I'll slip him 1 gold, and then like slipping him 1 gold hand clasp.
Do you know where I could gain access to such a place to have, a significantly better tasting drink with better company?
Just to go under. Because you're at 20, he looks at you and goes, go downstairs. And to one of the guards on the back room doors, just ask if they sell gold wine.
Noted.
Try not to be a
I'll keep-
nuisance down there, though, right?
I'll keep out of trouble, and this way, you don't know my name for my responsibility, and I don't know yours.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Gets back and kind of happy with himself as you head past.
Good idea, dude.
We have horses? Question mark.
Oh, good question. Yeah, good point. Good point.
We have a horse.
Oh,
Do you want
Do
him
we
to
have
be
a
a pony?
red-rented horse also, or just?
No, I think we left those, right?
Yeah, we only used it
Okay.
to get back to Zvetio.
Yeah.
I don't think we took another horse.
Okay.
It's just Zapelli, I think.
You could have left Zapelli out. Like there'd be like little hitching posts outside the tavern's area where you can kind of lead them. If you're
I
not.
figured like a tavern would
Stranger's
have a
gonna
hitching
feed them
post.
water.
You come
I
out to a
see
little
you in
baby
chat,
horse.
Brizzy. I see
The
you
little
like
pony.
that with the baby horse.
Yeah, heading downstairs into, you'd go down into like this tunnel area, and you can see there's no windows on the tunnel. It's just a straight shot of kind of like stone and then like a wooden barrier around, which you feel like should have collapsed, but it's perfectly like polished and refined. And it's like an oval tunnel, almost like when you're walking through like an aquarium and you're kind of going through that glass tunnel, but this time it's just wood. And it goes for a good, after the staircase leads you down deep underground, probably a good like 50, 60 feet down. The tunnel goes on for another like 30, 40 feet before the doors are open. You can see people chatting and a couple people walk past you to head out of the tavern. And the first portion of this Below the Falls is essentially just your traditional tavern, some tables and chairs with people talking, side rooms that lead off, a couple of balconies that lead up to other rooms. The windows down here are almost designed in just a kind of no curtains on them, as they just show you all of the various fish that swim past, and you can see you're underwater from the sides of them. But it feels like you're almost like a house has been drowned more so than it's actually built to be sustained down here. You can see the bar, you can see a back door to the left and to the right where 2 guards stand, one individual on each. Both broad, both kind of got little clubs at their side. One sat, one standing, kind of leaning against the wall. But otherwise, someone serving drinks behind the bar, people talking, other people just kind of coming in and out and sitting at their tables and getting some general food. Where would you like to go?
Well,
Find the
you
table.
all need to secure a room as well, right? Might want to do that sooner rather than later.
Aye.
Sure.
Yeah.
At some point, I may.
You had your little conversation with the man. I'm assuming you want to go and do that.
Not anytime soon. I just know that there's a back room that either A, tells mysterious thing, or B, will know a bit more about a mysterious guest. There's always a way to monopolize.
I mean, it could be, very useful. If you can get the information, that'd be great.
Also, Willoughby mentioned this. How shocking is it that no one has gone up there and looked inside or stopped them?
Well, I mean, I don't know how common abilities to like walk on walls and fly and things like that is here. I don't know how common magic and things like that is.
It would have to. Well, I'd be shocked if it wasn't, because if someone defaced the statue of Burka, they would need a way to clean it. The storms or weather.
Yeah, storms or weather, maybe. I can understand if, like, maybe people don't deface it out of fear of the gods here. But yeah, I mean, maybe. But maybe that person isn't around. Maybe it's like a specialist. But I don't know. Maybe it is common, and it's suspicious that they've not done it. Maybe it's a little ploy. Could be. But anyway, we've got the table now. Lena.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was Did we order drinks? I want to get a drink.
Not yet. What would you like?
We can get
I don't try to put like whatever they have. That is good, I guess.
I want a big, tall glass of water.
Oh, I got you. We'll be.
I want the local water.
Eldred, do you want to be a baby?
I will take the water Willoughby just
No,
poured.
but I'm willing to take the risk.
You say no, but I'm willing to take a risk.
That is fair.
All right, fair, yeah.
You can order whatever drinks you want.
All right.
You can see they've got a selection behind the bar of Mesogayan wines. They've got kind of like Athelan meads and Midgardian meads. They've got all sorts of just these different drinks from all across the land. Ales and kind of almost closer to beers, the fermented drinks, the fermented fruit drinks all across the back of the bar too. It's a good selection of drinks.
Do they have any Mesogayan drinks?
They definitely do. They definitely have a lot of wine.
Juno's like, yep, straight up like bottle of wine, absolutely.
You
especially if she can find an Atron wine, like a wine from her home, like from her home city.
You definitely can. It's about triple the price that it would usually be. Yeah.
I don't care.
It probably costs you a good, like, for an entire bottle, probably about 15 gold, which is probably triple the price you'd expect back home, but because it's all shipped in.
Paid.
And yeah, you see them kind of hand across an entire bottle with a few glasses. They go to like hand you mugs at first, then notice you're a Mesogayan and then give you like these kind of little goblet glasses.
Goblets,
and allow you to kind of go back with your bottle of wine.
Oh shit, do you have a mead? I'll take a mead, please. I had this when I was in Metala.
You kind of pour this
Get a mead.
very lovely mead and then hand it across to you.
Takes back to your table.
You can just knock off a few silver.
Draven,
Yes.
Look what I got. I show him the bottle of Atron wine, like, it's Mesogayan.
What is that?
It's Mesogayan wine. It's from Atra. They had some.
And you're from Athla, right?
Mm-hmm. It's my hometown.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's the best wine, but it is Mesogayan wine, so I am going to enjoy it.
I would love to see how it tastes.
Yeah, I think like Juno probably would have got glasses for everybody but Willoughby. And just sort of like looks at Willoughby apologetically, but like is obviously not putting a glass down in front of him. But be like, well, if you don't like it, you don't like it, but I'll pour like a glass for everyone, basically. Like, I know it's early, but it's not uncommon in Mesogaia to have wine in the morning, occasionally,
Also,
just a little glass.
Think about and talk about it. It's good to have a drink. I got a mead. You can all try some if you want. I had it when I was in Atlas. It's pretty good. It's a little weird if you've never had it.
I'll try them, sure.
Yeah, try.
You guys want to
take a
try
little
my
drink.
water?
Many Midgardians
Local.
say skull. Juno, do your people say anything?
Oh, yes,
Oh, yeah,
we
what do you say?
Our people, right?
Draven, what do you say?
Umbu.
When we drink, it is ebiba. Ebiba. And she'll hold out the glass to like clink glasses with everyone. And she'll like clink on Willoughby's cup or bucket or whatever Willoughby has.
I think Willoughby's drinks straight out of the decanter.
Yeah, he geysers it.
Ebibi.
A baby?
A baby. I Google translated cheers in Greek,
Nice.
and it is ebibi.
Okay.
Hey, baby!
This
You mu-
fitting, really.
As soon as Eldred drinks that water, I'm like looking at Eldred like this, like.
How do you feel, Eldred? Do you feel okay?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Please never do that again.
Almost fittingly, you'd
Never
hear
make a
a
baby
massive
sound
amount
or
of
never
laughter come from the back rooms, and then like a cheer coming from the back room as well. A few people in the room kind of look across, but then continue their conversations. Like there's a party going on back there.
So, yeah, I think maybe I know the person in the jug, the vase, the whatever. Okay. I feel like I've said that I came from a village that was destroyed, right, by Thor in his fight with Loki. And the village was just in the way, right? And everything was destroyed. We were on the coast, and the waves then came and washed everything out. So we couldn't find anyone really, right? Like the buildings were decimated. There was no. I didn't find my husband or my daughter. I asked with a drop of water where my daughter was, and it turns out that she's in hell. So at least I know. That is another thing to deal with later. I wasn't there, and the reason I wasn't there, well, backtrack a little bit. Loki is was the patron of the whole village, and it was a village of people like me. I think that you have now seen me turn into a squirrel, right? You know that I can turn into a fish. You know that I can make myself look like other people. We saw the person who was the rat, right? Remember, as we were traveling. And that is a thing that we can all do. We can change what we look like. I can't become... I tried, actually, and I can't do it. I tried to see if I could look like Draven when he looks very scary, and I can't do that. So there are limitations, right? I can't just be anything. And I wasn't there, and we all, in some way or another in the village, worked for Loki. I gathered information. I'm pretty good at liberating items that don't belong to me, but that is not really what I did, right? I liked to find out information, talk to people, find things out, bring information back, right? And that is why I was not there that day. That is not the part that is important right now. It is very important to me. It is not the part that is important right now. That face is familiar. I can't place a name. I don't. You know, sometimes you see people you live around, right? You see people you interact with. You don't really know them, and I think this is someone from
me,
where
Elena.
I was from.
The name of the place that you are from and your people, I guess. I've encountered types of people in my travels. People with the dwarves and things like that. Do they have a name for your kind?
I mean, we try to keep it a little quiet, right? Like, it's not something you want to sort of broadcast. People tend not to trust you if they think that you could just change who you are all the time, right? Which is kind of funny because the thing that is you doesn't change, right? You can look like whatever. You can be a man, you could be a woman, you could be a child, you could be a squirrel or a salmon or a whatever, right? And the you that is you is always you. So it is a little silly that people think that maybe we are not trustworthy. But it is also partially because of Loki. We are called Nakken, and that is we, I guess, in a way, owe ourselves to Loki. So most of us follow him in some way or another. Not everybody, right? But a lot of us do.
And you mentioned that people don't trust you, and so are the Nakken known to many Midgardians? Is that a name that people would recognize? People would know if they saw this true form?
Did I know this name?
You know the name for sure. Very rare to find because a lot of them spend most of their time in other forms. You definitely know the name though. They're kind of renowned as mischief makers.
Yeah, I had heard of them, but I did not get out much.
Okay.
I think it is not that we necessarily are. How do I say this? I think as a whole we are not really secret, right? But as individuals, you tend not to like broadcast it around, right? Like I said, like everybody knows Loki is pretty much full of shit a lot of the time, right? And you're like, as soon as you hear that he is involved, you're like, oh fuck, here we go. And so we tend not to, maybe like I said, broadcast that so much.
Yeah.
Most of us don't. Well, you can see what I look like right now, right? Most of us don't go about in just as natural form, I guess. My husband, he changed his form all the time. My daughter was partial to red hair and freckles. This is not what I looked like when I was a wife and a mother, right? You change based on what is going on in your life at the time. It is interesting that it is a Nakken. I would definitely like to know more. It is strange, I took out the coin, which she didn't realize she still had in her hand. When I was in the shop and I said it was interesting, right? Like, that might be a funny prank of going to Frigga City and then turning people into children because Frigga takes care of children. And she looks at the coin again, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes I get the feeling of whether there's interference. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I pick up what you're saying.
He doesn't always tell me, right? He's not going to always say, because he's kind of a dick. And it doesn't matter if I know everything, right? It's interesting, though. It's very interesting. And someone who can look like anyone, who can turn into a fish and swim away, who can, right? It's pretty hard to catch.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Do you think he's just been up there for weeks? Does he leave?
Can you turn into creatures that fly?
looks at DM because we never really wrote down what all we could do. I ask him every time.
Some knocking
can I do this?
Some knocking can.
But not you.
You being able to turn to something that flies this early would be like
it's
a wilder shape than what I get.
I have to be honest. You know how I said earlier, like sometimes you get the feeling if you go to a cliff and you're like, maybe I should jump, right? Like I don't. You spend a lot of your life trying not to put yourself in harm's way and die, right? Mm-hmm. So I haven't really tried to fly because if I try and then I can't, I will fall and it will hurt a fucking lot, right? So I haven't really tried to stick to like...
That's why that's a thing.
Yeah, right? Like I stick to things like a squirrel or a fish or something that is pretty common and nobody's really going to notice.
But it's possible that
and you get in and out.
Can.
But yes, some of them can, right?
Okay, so maybe they're coming and going. Yeah, maybe some of this person is coming and going. They are coming and going. Maybe they have, maybe like Draven, they have magic that lets them walk on stone and walls.
So that is something too, right? So like I am pretty good at staying quiet and staying hidden and finding things out, right? That is what I do. I can think about things and I have like the dagger, right? My husband, he was really good at kind of illusion, right? Okay. Not just his own shape, because of course he could do that, right? But at magic. And so different people, right? Just like anyone are good at different things. So maybe maybe the one in the jug is good at something like that.
Good at babies.
Good at making baby water.
Well,
it is a funny prank, but like I wouldn't really stick around.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's having a real laugh about it out there.
Joe, when I saw them, could I tell what the look on their face was? Like did it look like they were having fun? Did it look like they were still up here?
Yeah, like bored, like...
roll an insight check.
Okay.
Come on,
on the job.
I'm tired of rolling, Grandpa. Insight. 9.
Hard to say. They're in that kind of moment where they're just like looking at their food really intricately, but they didn't have much else to do. Whether that was like a moment of content and just like relaxation or a moment of just minute boredom was a hard way to kind of, hard to decipher between it.
Well, they had to eat. Where did...
You said they were pouring something, right? Like
they were eating these nuts. We could find where they're native to if we wanted to speak to this person. I'm sure they go there to farm them, come back. And undoubtedly, if they are sly and have swift fingers, they're probably stealing.
Draven, is your little companion still there? Could you see
Technically, I never told them to come back.
Could you see if that person is still there? Are they still there now?
You look into the eyes and you'd see
we too far away right now?
Yeah, you might be. You'd have to stand at the base, I think, to see through the eyes because you're now a little bit jutting away. You might be able to like call it back a little bit and then view from like probably a good 60 feet away. But you're technically a little bit out of range.
Then I would have just probably had them come back if we were going to be.
Okay.
And they're just cool.
I mean,
do they have to do this every day? Do you think they have to take up this liquid?
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Maybe they have to do it every day.
Actually, maybe not. This spell is weird because it says, it's within 100 feet of you. You can communicate telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
So it kind of implies that wherever it is.
So 100 feet is when I can communicate.
You just can't have a combo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Then in that case, you can keep it there.
And hear what it hears, apparently.
And then you'd hear
ears.
Roll a perception check through its ears. So it'd be through the
Come on.
perception.
Deal.
Which I
Let's go.
believe is a. I think
Is
that's
it like a 2?
I think
it
that's a
3?
+3 because it has.
Okay.
Yeah, Spy has a plus.
Your
plus
GM says 3. Let's take it.
That's a 6.
Hard to hear over the actual splashing of the water coming out of the jar, but you can see, or your sprite can see, the guy's now kind of on his back, like resting his head against the jar that's pouring out the milk, and he's got his like legs kicking up and back and forth on this kind of small little shelf area, and he's like throwing some of the nuts up and trying to catch them in his mouth. One falls in, he tries to reach and goes. Ah. You can't really make out what he's saying, but you can see he's kind of cursing himself. And he goes on, just continuing, just this little bag of nuts he's just throwing up, trying to catch him in his mouth.
Well, he's still there, and he's throwing nuts vertically in the air and then catching them.
I could wash this guy out of this jar right now if we want to do it. I could just flush him right out of there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
True. That would be so interesting.
Is anybody okay? I don't. Again, this isn't really my deal, so I don't know how it would work. Can someone like put a mark on? Like, can you do that from afar or something? Like, the thing is, right? He can look like anyone or anything. So, like,
Right.
do you know what I mean?
We wash him out, he instantly
when,
turns into a fish and just.
Yeah, right. Like,
Oh.
Can he
As long as I can't
change?
cast 2 spells at the same time, I could do one or the other.
Can Lena, can you and your people, can you change the clothing that you're wearing as well? Like you can turn into animals, but if you were to take a different form, does it change your clothes and your equipment, or just your body?
looks at DM. So when we've done it in the past with the squirrel and the fish, it just all.
Yeah, because you're like absorbing the equipment,
Yeah.
right? But if you were to make another humanoid shape, would the equipment change?
It goes off the base of the changeling, which just a double check.
I have an idea.
I think it does change the clothing, but I'm just going to double check.
When
I have something, but it's
no. I think it just changes your
Physical body,
physical
right?
body.
yeah.
Here's a thought. If he's using a jug that's currently depositing into the jar, why don't I simply attempt to locate that object once we wash it out? If he takes it with him,
Yeah.
Can you
Please.
locate it if you don't know what
then
it
I
is?
could locate
Like,
it. If you describe it carefully enough, I could.
There's also I could put a minor curse on them. This will hurt them, but I could reach into their mind, and while doing so, even if they were invisible, they couldn't hide from me. I've done it before.
that is what I mean, right? Because, like, I don't know, like, how close you've paid attention, but I can do it pretty quickly between several things at once, right? Like,
I can do it
go,
in 6 seconds.
right, very fast. And so you would need to be able to,
They don't have.
like,
they don't have
let
to
me
be
put it
super
this
close.
way. If I was ever close to being followed or getting caught or something, right? What do? You blend into the crowd, and at first I look like an old lady, then I look like a young man, then I look like, right, every little bit. And then you are vanishing into the ether. No one can find you.
If you can't
Locating the
change,
jug is a good move, I think.
it's a good move. And honestly, it might be a bit simple and a bit mundane, but if you can't change the clothing that easily, like if they have to go and physically change, I mean, I can if they're wearing any sort of light colors, Messerguy in red wine does not come out very easily, and she'll hold up like the little dregs in the bottle.
It's
like,
interesting, right? And I hold up my cloak, which looks very plain on one side, and as I turn it, you can see that it's a bright teal on the other side. The thing is, right? I don't think people know or pay attention too much to. They kind of see everything at once, right? And one thing about trying to hide is that people will often just see what you want them to see, right? So if I act a certain way, but I still look like this, people don't always remember me because my clothing is very nondescript, right? They don't necessarily remember what my face looks like, but they remember that bitchy lady that was yelling at us about trying to, get a deal on whatever, right? Like they don't. So we don't always worry so much about changing our clothes, right? Like I said, if they are pretty, like look at look at what I'm wearing right now, right? Like it looks like what anybody would wear anywhere, because I don't need to worry.
I mean, with Willoughby's magic, I think.
It sounds like we have two separate options that we should simply use at the same time to narrow this down. Draven, can you explain the jar to me? Whatever it is that's currently depositing this substance into the water?
Yeah, so I'll go back to Sprite site, and then I'll just be vocalizing what I say.
Okay. Give me a performance check. See how well your description of this jar and its intricacies is.
You got it. 26.
You remember even the small designs to make it look slightly Mesogoian, but actually you see it as it's kind of got this very traditional kind of bottom where they've strapped it around, where you'd kind of almost kind of a leather strap at the bottom where you'd hold it upright. That makes it Midgardian. You give every little detail you can.
I'm going to use minor illusion to form it physically in front of Willoughby.
Okay. I would say with such a roll like that I would say it's the later half of locate object, as in you've seen this object up close within 30 feet of you. It's kind of almost so familiar with its description that you know exactly where it is.
Hell yeah.
All right. We should probably talk to the guards before we do this.
Do we have to? Did they tell us not to?
We want to go to
When I do what I'm about to do, it is going to expand the radius of the splash zone, most likely. The guards may want to know what's going on.
Close your mouth.
I mean, I can't even get up to this place. Like, I can't fly or do anything like that. So.
Take you up.
Good thing you already have goggles.
That's true.
I was simply going to create a tidal wave inside the jar to wash them out.
Oh, maybe don't do that. Maybe because it could break.
Do you want to talk to like just a regular guard? Do you want to try to talk to secret keeper?
I think maybe we should go and tell these secret keepers. Like if we know what's causing it, the city might. I mean, there might be a reward to help them solve it, but they might be able to take care of it.
I'd almost rather tell them after, because if they know this and chose to do nothing, we may become a problem.
I want to wash them out.
I don't think the statue's going to break. But if we're concerned about
or the jar. Both are.
What if we just scare them out? If we can follow them with these.
I mean, I can do something scary. I could send like an angry bird up there.
Ooh.
You can also send your imp.
I was just gonna walk up and say hi. I'm up here too. You got any more of those?
How about this? We have Draven scare them. They'll probably run. They're not expecting to be found. I mean, I don't think that they would try and fight in that kind of confined space, right? They'll probably run. We have Willoughby nearby to track them. You can try and magic to like grab them as they flee. I'll be on the ground nearby, maybe on the side with the goggles, or maybe I'll get up on a roof and I can try and track them as they run away. I mean, we know what they look like. We know what they're wearing. I can try my best to keep track of them. And then once they're out of the jar and they're not near the lake, it will be easier for us to grab them. It'll be easier for us to subdue them and grab them, tie them up. And then we ask them questions. What are you doing? What are you doing this for? We do all of that stuff, right? So maybe that's the plan. Maybe we have like me and maybe Aldrid and Elena sort of nearby on the ground on a side of the lake. And then we have Willoughby on the other side of the lake in case he goes that way. And then Draven goes up to scare him.
And then we make him drink the baby milk.
Like, I think Juno is looking at Eldred like, this town has had a very strange effect on you today.
It's got a lot of a fixation on baby milk.
You really like the baby milk.
It's funny.
It is quite funny if it happens to people that are not me.
Well, not you. Him. He's it's the taste of his own medicine.
I do. I think that that is the ultimate price for a prankster to suffer the prank yourself.
You hear another hail of laughter from the back room, and the door opens up, and you see a kind of one of the similar to the bouncers. One kind of steps out and he's cradling a baby that's like covered in clothing, and kind of laughs and closes the door behind him and continues walking, and then walks out of the door past you guys and heading down the tunnel.
I'll be back.
Hold on.
Okay.
If Draven doesn't stop,
I think
Wilby's
they are
going
making
to go
people
with
into
you.
babies.
They're definitely making
Turn
people
into a mouse and get in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
What?
Turn into a mouse.
I go to
Juno pours a
Draven's
big
head.
glass of wine.
I go to Draven's head and say, I'm making mental connection with you. Keep in touch. Well,
Alright.
I will reach out.
How the hell?
I'll do it with, okay, you have Draven, so I'll do Willoughby and Juno and Aldrid with
Baby
the psychic
trafficking?
whispers. And I will see how long it lasts for.
You're just like, ha ha ha, we turned Jimmy into a baby, ha ha.
That is overnight,
indeed.
right? Why, how would it be instant if he
Somebody's up to do some shit. Yeah, maybe. Anyway,
Oh, 7 hours.
Juno ain't going in that room. She's staying out here.
There's
You
babies
fucking go
coming
in the
out of
baby
that room.
yeah, I'm not going in there. Who knows what they got? They got a decanter of endless baby water that they're going to spray everyone with.
7 hours up to a mile away.
Hell yeah. Draven
Yeah, you see the bouncer stood at
is
the door.
walking up with Willoughby in his pocket. Can't believe this is happening. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you by chance sell gold wine?
Pulls the door handle and kind of pushes it aside. In you go. And then closes the door behind you. As you enter that room, you immediately hear like the laughter. You can see that it's almost like a mirrored image room of the same room you were just in, just on the opposite side. So there's a bar right next to you now on your left, serving kind of nicer drinks. You can see different bottles of wine here, which look a little bit fancier. You can see different meads and better barrels and bigger barrels, nicer cups and whatnot. But the tables are relatively the same. There's a group of tables being pulled together in the center, and a bunch of people are watching from the outside. A good like 20 or 30 people around there. And you can see a series of elderly people and a bunch of these cups and a dice game going on. And at the end of the table, you notice someone. You notice kind of sat there on top of the table itself on a little chair that's kind of been designed for her. You notice Ceratus, the one
That's
you
what
met
I thought.
from a while ago.
the same one?
Spring. And she goes, okay, with that one out, who's up next? Come on, bring a couple more for the crowd. Come on. And you see a series of just like a couple of elderly people come in, sit down, and they've got about 5 or 6 elderly people around this table, all with this like dice game ready to go.
Playing Russian roulette
And,
with the baby
yeah,
water.
you can see. Okay, so we're gonna fill again. We go around. Remember the rules. Each one of you has to hold your eyes shut for 10 whole seconds after drinking. Okay? Bring in the new contestants. Get those bets going, everyone. And you can see people going around like taking bets, and a lot of gold is being passed around at the same time. You can see there's a couple more people at the table. Not elderly people. 4 or 5 elderly people, but a couple of them. One of them is probably about in their 20s, and another one is maybe a 14-year-old boy who's just kind of sat at the table with him as well. Doesn't seem appropriate for him to be involved in this game, but you see they take a jar and they each pour it into these cups, and then you see all of them kind of move the cups around as one of the jars is kind of changed up and be placed in front of them. And Spring goes, okay, starting with you from the left. Take a drop of your water, close your eyes. You see this elderly woman go. And then the timer goes down. You see the whole group in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and as they count down to 0, she opens her eyes and nothing happens. And she goes, moves on to the next person. You see a dwarf there, kind of, broad, a bluish hint to his skin. You can see him drink back. 10, 9, 8, counts down. 3, 2, 1. Opens his eyes, nothing happens. Passes on. This time, you would see kind of slender and tall. You see this elf and beautiful kind of butterfly form. Drinks back. 10, 9, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you see her body and shrink down to that very familiar form you saw when you were in
the little moth.
in Alfheim. This kind of very like furball form, and then drops the glass.
Cute, but also sad.
And looks up with her eyes. Oh, and you see all the others laugh and then cheer, and you see some of the older people pull back. You see a couple of people just hand out coin to each other. Okay, get your bets on again. This one. How old were you in this? I was 53. Who had plus 40 years? 40 years. Come on, you get your Epstein bets. Come on. And you see them just kind of passing around the coins as you kind of enter into this room as they take bets on who's going to basically de-age. And not only that, but how much by.
How much by.
If it isn't my favorite season.
Well. Looks like autumn, and I don't see the rest of them. But
well, would you like to see one more?
Looks past you. Continue getting the drinks filled out. Everyone pass around your coin. She kind of walks down the table and heads right down to the end. Looks right at you, Draven. I see you made it out of Herod.
Yes, and you as well. Lick and Sly.
So? Where are the others? Did you leave them behind?
Do I look like someone who would do that in spring?
Oh, you were capable.
Fair enough. No, I did not.
Wilby's just gonna kind of flop out of the pocket now, realizing that like the jig's basically up. He's just gonna transform back into normal. Your pocket stinks. You need to wash this.
This wasn't originally my pocket.
Well, you come into the. How did you get back here?
I'm capable, Spring.
You're capable. Come back to bed.
I actually came hearing that there were things that could be acquired here, unlike anywhere else.
It is the side rooms that you can go and buy some things. I mean, this is where my employer works. So.
The same or new?
Same one. The one who deals with most of my business. Here I can relax and take care of some of the small menial things whilst he's doing his business. But he lives upstairs. Though I cannot guarantee an audience with him yet. He might need some stuff done. But if you're looking to buy something, if you let me know, I can point you in the right room.
I would love to. Just to see what they have.
Sure. Room back there is secrets. That one back there is any contraband from the city. Back there you can find some weapons and armaments that might not be as localized. Along with some stolen things. Whatever you wish.
It's always a pleasure to see you, Spring. I'm gonna give him a gold coin.
Takes and pops it into her little pocket and goes, I appreciate it. Good to see you made it all out. I assume the others are not dead.
No.
Good.
Thankfully.
We might have some work if you were interested at some point, but just let us know. And if you're interested in getting in on the bed, she leans forward and goes, I've got a feeling that the young one is going to disappear soon. They've got unfortunate luck. They failed 4 times in a row. Until now.
So do they simply turn into an infant of barely a year old?
It is different. They never age up, but they always age down. Sometimes only by a couple of years, sometimes by 40, 50.
It's inconsistent based on elf, human, and all.
Exactly. That is what makes the game so good, because even the eldest ones can go all the way down. In fact, we just had one go out who hadn't lost before, and they were 103. Went straight into a baby.
But you've never had any just... You know what I mean?
Oh, no. We thought about that. But seemed wrong. Well, the rules are until you drop your drink.
Yeah.
We're not going to go feeding any of it to an infant, but there's been some lucrative business.
Do you know why the water's like this?
No clue. The secret keepers can't work it out. I mean, they're begging the Frigga every day to find out that secret. They assume that, there are some assumptions on the old air. Loki, obviously. Everyone blames Loki, but who knows if it is Loki's doing, or perhaps it is, some people believe it is some of the more localized missile guidance as a build-up to the war. Get rid of the Birkans, very capable fighters. And of course,
Who knows?
The most likely result is Jaya, the alchemist who lives on the corners.
For sure.
So at the moment, she is public enemy number 1.
Oh. Spring, you always know just exactly what to say.
Of course.
Willoughby, I'm going to go do some shopping. Anything you...
I was going to look around the magical armaments section.
So was I.
We should look together.
Well, deal.
And Draven's gonna like pass to Eldred everything that they heard and hear to then spread about everyone else.
Okay, they're playing a game, turning into babies and betting on it, and
Yes.
there's some shopping to do.
Even Spring doesn't seem to know
And
about her
Spring
little
is
friend
there.
above.
I'm getting
And
worried.
it sounds like the
that
secret keepers are desperate to
The
find
secret
out.
keepers are as inept as the Amanita we met
I'm
in
gonna-
Svepier when it comes to managing their problems.
Yes,
I'll say over
probably.
the the bond. How do you get into the secrets room?
This one?
You said there was there's shops.
Oh,
One
yes,
sells
yes,
stuff,
yes,
one
yes, yes,
sells
yes.
secrets. How do we get into the secrets?
Ask if, do you sell gold wine?
Do I sell? All right.
Let's just go back. It sounds like no one's being forced to participate.
Okay.
Do we want to?
I'll go with you and Lena.
It is a better idea, I think, for us all to be together, no?
Spring already knows
Yeah.
everyone's here.
Okay.
Also, she already
Spring already knows
right?
we're here. Let's go say hi.
Okay.
All right. We go to the guard. Hey, do you sell any gold wine?
Opens the door, lets you through.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
He's about to turn to a mouse.
Hey, look, I was trying to keep you alive. They're like, ooh, a Kavir, let's drain him of all his life water.
Make him drink the water. Maybe he'll turn into a little seed.
I was truly worried about that. I was like, they're
Plant him. We'll make more.
I have been deeply concerned of the fact that Wilby does not have a mouth to drink out of. If any water touches him, I think he's technically drinking it.
Yeah.
Just choose to not absorb it. Just be like,
Yeah. And or hope that
close
it's
all your
like
stoma.
5 years, which for Willoughby is nothing.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Oh shit! Could you de-age far enough that then you are back to human? How long did you spend as Kvister?
You'd see
He's thinking
as
now.
you step in, each of you kind of comes through. Spring before turning around and goes, "Oh, the rest of you are through. Good. Come join. Come
Oh,
join. We're
Spring.
betting."
Look at Juno.
Juno just looks, is like, no.
I
About
don't
what
think
to bet.
we're really in a betting mood right now, but
Yeah,
thanks
not
for the
right now.
offer.
This is
think so.
weird.
It looks pretty fun.
You could join in, you
Cash
know.
out hard off of this.
I can understand the old people wanting to play, but when you get to a certain age, surely you'll just give up. What do they win?
Well, if you bet on yourselves, you get triple the payout. So it is.
What's the payout? Like, what is the bet?
It
What's
depends.
the
It
starting
depends
bet?
on what round we're doing, how many people are involved. The less people, obviously, the bet goes up, and usually it is people believe in luck. So those who
Pretty exciting, huh? Like, it's different for everybody all the time.
We
It's
are
not like,
managing the bets as
oh,
we
it's
go.
20 years. It's
yes, different every time.
So is it illegal for me to bet, considering I do not age?
Unfortunately, it only works on mammalian creatures, so you are incapable of de-aging. We already tried it on an Amanita, but it did not work.
What
what
if
if
you
you
were
turn
never a
into, like-
child?
Don't know if we've had anyone tried with that.
I feel like that's the same thing, no?
Probably.
and nobody knows what is the cost. That is
Do you
it's
age?
crazy.
Draven.
I saw that.
Okay.
I exist over.
At some point, I gotta pull you aside because there's
No, that's fine.
I got a lot of
Shopping,
questions
huh?
I gotta ask you one of these days.
Yeah.
Looks at
Yes.
Spring.
Shopping.
Yep. Secrets, armaments, some contraband.
One thing. Draven looks at the whole party wearing all of the new items. I want something.
Let's go get you something. Come on.
Got this.
Yeah, I'd like
You
to-
can have my cool
No,
goggles if
I
you
don't
really
want your,
want.
I don't want your goggles.
I mean, you used to have these rings, and then you gave them to me. So it's
You
not
got the
like-
fish spear. You've got the
Oh, maybe you could
fish
trade that
trident.
for
That
something.
it comes up so much. The fish thing.
It is.
talk to
You know
fish.
what?
Maybe
The
they'll
fish
buy
thing
it
is
off of you.
super useful. I think we have used that so much. They're going to get a good price for it in there, I bet.
I'm basically sad Pasudin.
Juna just looks at Draven like, mm-hmm. She very subtly like shakes her head at Draven like, you fucked that up. Like, she just shakes her head to say, no, try again.
No.
Poseidon.
Yeah. And then she just nods like, you got it. Nailed it that time. It's like, mm-hmm.
Feel free to shop around. And if you want to come out of it, it's lucrative.
I'll keep it in mind, thanks.
Of course. Be happy to spend your coin. And she turns and walks back down the table and goes, okay, next up, let's see. We got the drinks ready. And she gets into the next round where people start gathering around again and start passing around some money.
What if someone turned into a baby and then created a clone of themselves and then undid the curse? Baby. And then swapped it. Never mind.
Raise themselves.
I assume they still have their magic.
Yeah.
Surely. Let's go buy you something, huh?
Yeah, let's go see what they have. I definitely want to check out the secrets one, but I'm also interested to see what's in the other one. So let's
Whatever's in the water, it's gotten me too. I like.
It's like Dave and
Everyone's
Brizzy
having
are
a
like,
wild time in Burka.
just let's go. It's weird episode day.
Guys, I could live here. This place is great.
I am honestly waiting for Brizzy to just be like, I drink the water. I want to be a baby. Like, I'm honestly waiting for it.
I want to know.
Look at it. Look, she's just like,
Like there's also
Someone's gotta cash out on the bet, dude.
there's probably a
He wants
saving
to
throw,
do it.
right?
Aldrid
There's a-
doesn't.
There's a saving throw.
I don't know
right?
if there's a set. If it was me, I'd be like, roll a
Watch his
percentile,
Joe's
man.
face.
I'd just be like, roll percentile, see what happens, bro.
Don't make that face, Joe. It's like,
I would not make that shit a saving throw. I'd be like, yeah, guess what? You're a baby now.
we're going shopping, Joe.
Armaments.
Yeah.
Go.
Hypothetically, if I no.
Does sound pretty cool to have a boss baby character in the campaign. For
Yeah.
Oh my god.
episodes, you know.
That's
Well,
place we
do you
go
know
is
what?
like
It give you
the
invincibility
armorsmith,
because
where,
I can't be the DM that has
be
a kid
murdering a
killed.
baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
We're
an
like,
invincibility.
Hey, can
break
you
of
make
the
a
game.
baby sword?
Yeah.
Make a sword, but like for a baby.
You'll have like a strength, dex, and con of like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do anything.
Can you make a tiny male shirt for my baby? Thank you. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, you can head into the back room where the armaments room that she pointed out. Stepping into the back room, you can see it's all kind of converted like almost bedrooms that were once bedrooms in this tavern. So you can see they've kind of formed into a mini shop, but nothing on the walls. Just a person behind a desk. Someone's buying this kind of long sword. It doesn't look like it's from either Midgard or Mesogar. And you see them kind of pass over in the coin and go, not too bad. And then as they pull it down, it sheaths itself inside its own handle. Not too bad. And then walks past you and heads out. Behind the desk, you can see in kind of a hood with like a greenish tint to their skin with a long jaw with very big teeth. Each of their teeth is about 2 inches wide and long. A huge kind of jaw and grin. You see these great big kind of eyes of what is to be like a troll. A little bit of a kind of a wispy beard just across the bottom of his chin. He goes, come in. What are you looking to buy?
What are you selling? What are you buying?
Armaments, weapons, equipment.
Do you also
Things that are hard to
purchase
find.
magical items?
I could purchase something.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're gonna use the trident.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we should get.
Weird, we've used it so much. It was so useful. I'll
It
be sad to
comes up
see it
so
go.
much.
Powerful.
It's like it makes stuff too easy. You know what I mean?
I can. We have some armors. We have some. What's this then?
And it's the Trident of Fish Command.
So you kind of cast identify.
We gotta sell it better than that. Come on, we can lie.
This is
I'm
a
in
trident that is almost akin to that of what Poseidon does.
Ah.
You know who we took it from? The Lady of the Lake. That was pretty crazy.
Looks along it kind of.
I'll give you 600 gold for it.
Would you give me more if it was credit to purchase something here?
That can be arranged, yes.
Well, let's find out what is here before.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I've got a few things. I've got some arrows. I've got armor stolen from Othello. I have a blade. And
He kind of looks down.
I have a series of these.
And he pulls out this little bag of like these tiny little silver balls, and he puts them on these kind of like metallic ones, which are almost like translucent.
They can trip even the largest of creatures.
Oh,
Really?
interesting. I'm gonna hear about the armor and the blade first.
The armor.
He kind of leans down and he brings out a chest plate, which you've probably never seen anything like this. This plate armor only exists in Othello. And he kind of brings it out and puts it onto the table. But this plate armor, instead of your traditional kind of like iron, silvery steel look, has a kind of a very kind of black edge to it, almost slightly obsidian kind of sheen that goes through the armor. And he puts up each of the pieces that are kind of detached from each other. And you see them all kind of merge together.
That's cool.
This armor. It allows you to hide it in its shadow. When your shadow.
Above board, as he's describing the armor in kind of just more flexible terms. This is plate armor that you can don and don off with an action. And when you remove it from yourself, it hides in your shadow. So your shadow actually looks like it's wearing the armor. And then it can absorb onto you.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's badass.
And I was looking for plate armor, so that has
That's just a good flair, man.
Yeah. Draven loves shadows. And then he's interested in the sword as well.
Yep, he brings out this kind of almost scimitar-looking blade, and he puts it up on the side. And you see it kind of crumbles with almost like a sand effect across the scimitar, almost like it's made of sand itself.
Gabe's face.
Shut up, Mark.
And he looks across to you.
This blade. Taken from a place I don't know. Stolen from a mess of guy, and they were distributing this, a collection of items over to here in Midgard, and they had a little stumble in the woods. This blade allows the user.
And then he goes on to describe. It's a +1 magical sword. You can summon it with an action. Otherwise, it remains as a small little hourglass, a little pendant that you can wear. You can summon... Sorry, as a bonus action, you can summon it. The blade itself can do necrotic damage and does an extra 1d6 on a crit. So if you crit, you do 3d6 instead of the 1d6 normally. And along with that, against any creature that is... let me get the thing up. I'm trying to do it off the top of my memory. Across any celestial, fey, or fiend, if you attack them with a sword, you can track them for the next 8 hours.
You track them. Oh.
I need that.
As long as they're on the same plane.
Lena's like
How
uncomfortable.
can I make a perception check on the blade?
Yeah.
To see if there's like a familiar make or anything. A 12. Even like the hourglass itself.
Not familiar enough that you'd necessarily recognize it, but it's... There's a little bit of a nostalgia to it. There's a little bit of a homely feel to it, at least.
How much for that one?
500.
I'm going to give him 500 up front for the blade. And yeah, Draven's eyes are wider than usual.
I want to do the credit thing, or
No, this is something that I can't.
Okay. Do you have enough?
To me, my father.
Draven does have enough.
Okay.
And then he asks how much the plate armor would be separately.
Plate armor. Talking 1,500 for that one.
and how much we gonna get on credit for the trident?
600. And I'll knock it up to 750 if you're trading for credit.
I have 200. If this is going to help you, Draven.
Draven has 180 left, and if you would cover, then he'd be out. But he's very adamant about this.
I can give 200 for the armor if that's going to help. That brings us to 950. I don't know if the others have enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I spent money on my own armor earlier. I'm broke.
But I asked him how much he would give me for the crown of a king.
Crown of a king.
And then I pull out King Hrothgar's crown.
Which king?
King Hrothgar, the one who had been known to hold the arm of Grendel before a terrible tragedy that, as Thor struck it down, in the whole, this is all that is left.
Or persuasion check.
Nat 1, 8.
Oh, this is bullshit. Some
Yep.
replica.
His crown. You stole from a king that was destroyed by Thor. Okay. And even if you did, even if this does manage to be the crown,
He pushes it back towards you.
I'm not being at the end of Thor's ire.
That's fair.
I'll dump that into a lake, mate.
I'll come back for the armor then.
Fair
What's
enough.
the
Those
other
little
stuff?
balls.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
But the little balls that will trip anything. What's their deal? That's
Either
their
throw
deal.
them
Little
down.
balls.
Anything that steps on them.
We'll have to make a DC 20 strength saving throw. They're a one-time use, but you can pull them over a 10 by 10 cube, and any creature stepping over them and through that territory has to make a DC 20 strength saving throw or fall prone.
What if you
That's
very
difficult terrain.
carefully gather them all back afterwards?
It doesn't work that way. Magic's a one-time use. Once it comes out of that bag, it don't come back in.
Oh, they're magic.
Of course, they're magic.
Well, I mean, I can do that kind of stuff for free.
True.
What's this other thing? There was one other thing, right, Joe?
Arrows.
The arrows.
Yeah, arrows.
Nice.
Brings out a series of just 8 arrows.
These ones, they rot you to the core.
They're 1d4 on top of their magical arrows. They do an extra 1d4 necrotic damage, and if a creature's hit by them, they can't heal for 1 minute.
1 minute's pretty big.
That's
Oh, yeah.
huge.
This
Like that's
Just
like
for
a
one arrow?
situational thing to have on.
If there's an enemy that's regenerating or like casting heal spells and stuff like that,
Yeah.
those would
that
be
would
super
have
useful.
trivialized like the troll fight just off
Mhm.
of the fact that. You know,
Yeah.
I'll take one arrow. Just for myself.
How much are the arrows?
80 gold
Yeah.
each.
80 gold? Okay.
80?
80.
8 though.
Oh, just kidding. I'm not.
Do you need money, Eldred? Do you not have
I
any
don't
gold?
want it that bad.
Okay.
Well,
I mean,
either way,
if I can lend people gold, I have no reason
you
need
gotta
for
hang
it.
on to your money.
I mean, I don't need it. I don't need it for anything.
Either way, we're selling the trident.
We're going
We're
to need...
never using it.
Yeah.
So I say we sell it, split it 5 ways, go from there, right?
Okay.
It's weird that we're never using it because it was so useful, but I agree. I think
It was so useful as a
know.
large fork for various fork.
It was really useful, and like we used it all the time in fights.
Came
It
up
was
all
so
the
good
time.
to like get us away from scary things in the water.
Yeah, especially with how close we are to the water now, but we're about to leave, so
Except
we're
the
not
troll.
going to be on the coast.
600
Like
gold.
Burka
No
happens to
takesies,
be.
backsies. You said it first.
Yeah.
So,
I offered 600.
yeah.
So you're selling for 600.
He leans down, kind of lifts out, and puts out 600 gold on the table.
Do you want to take some of the arrows? Do you want to just keep the gold and see what the other rooms have to offer?
Well,
Take
are
some
we
of the
gonna split that
arrows.
600, or are we gonna?
Yeah, 120
Yeah.
each.
120 each. Okay.
We gotta get garbage out of our inventories, and having the chance to sell magic items, pretty good fucking deal, guys.
Wait, 600?
Not each.
So 120 each.
Yeah.
So 50 each. There's 5 of us.
Well, it's 600. Divide by 5, 120.
Oh yeah, Google's line. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Any other
Alright, I'm going
business?
to think about the arrow.
Not for me.
Nope.
No, I like to know everything that is on offer first. Thank you, though.
It looks to you, Draven.
Do you want to keep the... Tell you what. You give me 15 gold, I'll make sure no one else buys the plate armor.
Deal.
He puts it under the table, takes the gold and pops under.
Good.
Okay.
Let's check
I
out
mean-
what the other ones are selling, huh?
Are you planning on
Secrets.
coming across
And
1,500 gold in the next couple days before we leave?
Good
People
deal.
die.
Ask Draven.
I think
People
we
die.
could potentially come into more than that.
things
but-
disappear. And there is value in And we
And
have
there's-
found a bank.
There's babies to
room.
bet on.
Okay, that same idea, different context.
The
but yes.
baby thing is we could a lot of money.
I need to go.
Yeah, I want to go to let's go do contraband next, I guess. Yeah.
To go.
What we have left? Contraband and secrets.
Chuno's already out.
Secrets, yes.
Nuna's at the door waiting to leave.
Yeah, let's
You can go into the contraband one.
let's check the contraband.
Almost an
please.
identical room with an identical troll who's stood there. Kind of stood there
What are you
behind.
buying?
Oh,
He looks
hey,
across.
you look like the other guy.
We're brothers.
Oh shit, good for you. You get to work like kind of with your brother. That's nice, huh?
We barely speak.
Oh shit, sorry. Okay. Well, you're in a different room. That is good. What do you have for sale?
Kind of leans under the table and rolls out a cloth.
Today's offer. Sliced amanita. Freshly dug.
How fresh.
We got the grave this morning, and it died about 6 hours before that. They like to bury them quick.
May I take a whiff?
Go ahead.
Does it smell like the amanita that we saw, or does it smell like a different strain of mushroom?
Similar. Definitely not the same exact strain, but similar. Yeah, you could go do a perception check, and I can give you some more information if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to. Draven will be like,
These aren't from Svepir.
24.
Smell them. It smells kind of like a little bit kind of musky and damp, but it doesn't smell like the ones from Svepir. It sounds like it's probably come from like an underground civilization of them, or something where they would live in the mountains.
So not Svepir. There's very a musky aroma. Mountains or low ground?
That's right. There's a population of them that pass through from the mountains, so they usually trade. One of them stayed a little too long. Didn't quite make it.
Shame.
If you'd like to try some samples, though, it can induce an anger in you. Make you a little stronger.
No, I think we're good.
I think, yeah, okay.
All right. Kind of wraps it back up and puts it back under the table.
It's the only thing we really have today. Unless you want some stale weed.
Yes.
You do?
Stale weed? Like what kind of weed?
Brings it out and you can see there's a kind of a very like, it almost looks dry and it's this long stalk and he puts it on the table. It's almost like dry grass. It's under the table.
You slice this up, you cut it up, inhale the fumes, and enjoy.
Enjoy isn't like riding to the skies or sloping
Like
down to
terror.
hell.
Yeah.
No.
Like what kind of
This one
enjoy?
releases your inner tragedies. It'll allow you to connect with yourself, feel emotion, cry. We find
How
this one
much?
quite popular. How much?
If you want to cry?
3 strains will give you 3 uses of it. Heavily contraband around the city. 20 gold.
$15 for a new customer. And I don't know your name, and you don't.
That's the customary around here. 15, sure.
Deal.
15 gold, puts it under the table. And then wraps up the 3 stalks for you and pots it to you.
If anyone asks, I would lie and say it's grass and don't let any guards see.
I'm simply a Mesogaian. I don't know this place.
Good. Other than that, nothing really on sale at the moment. Unless you want some blood.
Kind of blood.
He looks towards Juno.
Why are you looking at me?
Uh,
Well, there's some people who like to partake in the drinking of blood or smearing of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what kind of blood is
Looks
it?
at Draven. Like, yeah, I know.
I drink blood. I don't lie about that. It's delicious.
They're not too fond of it in this city.
Why?
Well, stories of creatures that crawl in the night.
A lot of things crawl in the night. That is kind of a little.
Crawl into
You
your
know,
lungs and
anything
drain
can
you of your
technically
blood
crawl
and drain you
at
to your
night.
death. I was
So
trying
what
to be a
kind
little
of
bit
blood
more
do you
sensible.
have? Did you get it from something that drains things to the death and
It's
crawls
believed the
into things?
Mesogaian blood is more connected to
That-
their gods.
That happens here?
It has happened.
Hmm.
A large population in Burka.
Oh, shit.
Most of my customers for this blood, though, or similar other bloods, mostly want to do it for sacrifices or rituals to their gods or whatnot.
No, that's fair. But that is good to know. I may.
Draven like looks at Juno and like definitely a little bit of a look of concern.
Mm-hmm.
You should wear long collared things.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah,
This
if anything,
city is
if anything
just
tries to
bad
bite
for
my neck,
Juno.
it's gonna punch.
Yeah, but they do it. Yes, true.
Oh, we can get you a cute like cowl. It will be good.
I have
It'll
my
be
scarf.
cold.
She has a purple scarf right around her neck anyway. But okay, well, I'm not interested in any blood for any sacrifices, so I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah, thanks.
Good. Okay.
All right. Get to shop number 3.
Okay.
This place is weird. I like it.
Passing through away from that portion of the shop, you'd step out into the main room.
Troll brother.
You can now see a couple of the dwarf is a little bit
Sister.
younger. The old lady now beautiful with like red long hair. Probably in
Nice,
her
good for her.
like late 20s. Drinking along. One person, one of the elderly guys, still hasn't kind of succumbed to it, and a couple of other ones looking younger. The 14-year-old boy nowhere to be seen here. Probably pulled away from the table. You see they're getting a couple
hope
more
so.
contestants sitting at the table as you pass by towards the secrets room. On the opposite side of the room, you'd go inside. Similar setup to the room before's. But this time, not a troll behind, but still a cloaked individual wearing
Damn it.
a black hood.
I walk out.
And you'd see this mask on them, which has one slit on the mouth, no nose to be shown, and 2 just very slight slits for the eyes. And there's this stone mask that is kind of worn over it. and sitting behind is a very thin, kind of frail form of a humanoid kind of sat behind the desk. No one really in here either. Most people are actually outside celebrating. Come in. Seat if you wish.
Sits down.
You have a series of chairs in front. Are you here to search for a particular secret?
Maybe. I don't know. We were told that this is a room of secrets, and I wanted to see what was going on. I have secrets. Sounds like you have secrets.
We can buy secrets here.
How does it work?
Are you new in the city?
Yeah.
The secret keepers of Frigga. When people wish to share a secret and get it off their chest, they go to the secret keepers up in the temple, and their secret is lost for all time. Only to Frigga and the secret keeper's ears.
Interesting.
Pass some of those secrets along.
Do you have to request a specific secret, or how does it work?
I can give you a random secret if you wish. It will depend on the coin.
How much for a random secret?
Depends how great a secret you're wishing for. A couple of silver might give you a local
gold.
one. I'll tell you a significant secret about someone in the city that's random.
I give 5 gold.
Drama.
She takes it and places it
Give me the tea.
below the desk.
Secret gacha.
This city turned us all into Juno.
There is a guard named Barnett. Between the hours of 9 and 12 at night, guards the waterfall. He's been secretly taking some of the waters, storing it, and selling it across the road to those who would do ill will with it.
Okay. I'm assuming I can't ask for any follow-up questions.
Not to that secret.
Okay.
That's a good secret.
I have a question. I have 2 questions for you, actually. One, like, what if I wanted a secret on a specific person? How do you...
If the person is within our range, you can tell me the name of the person, I'll tell you if I've got a secret on them. But my secrets are all based around the source of the temple.
Aldrid.
I have secrets of this person.
Oh boy.
How much?
How
Do
great a
we
secret are you
really
looking for?
care about his dark secret?
Well, it's the fact that he might actually have secrets.
What's the cheapest secret for Aldrid? What's the
2
most
silver.
expensive?
2 silver is the cheapest value of one of his secrets.
Yeah,
I
what's
don't
the
think
most
any of
expensive one?
these- What's considered an expensive secret at the secret
50
store?
gold.
His secrets are 2 silver.
Wait, does Aldrid have a 50 gold secret, or you're saying that's the most expensive
That
one?
is his cheapest secret.
What's his most expensive secret worth?
50 gold.
50 gold. The
What is
cheapest
Aldrid's secret?
Okay, I
Okay,
have another.
now I'm interested.
Yeah.
What's isolating from getting away from the Aldrid thing for a second? What's a normal rate for a high value secret?
We've had secrets go for 200 gold before. We've had secrets that go for 30. It
What
depends
if
how
I have a
damaging they are, of
secret to
course.
sell? How does that work?
I don't know if I want to be here. I know you all think that I'm nosy, but this is very personal. I don't.
Do you
like
have any
this.
secrets on Willoughby? Person named Willoughby.
Yeah, right.
I don't believe so.
It's going to be your tab.
I think they have to be people from the town who have like told secrets to the secret.
It was a
Okay,
nice fucking try, though.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What if I have a secret to sell? How do I determine how much that goes for? That's a pretty good one.
I determine it.
How does that work? Because I have to tell you the secret for you to tell me how
Right.
much it is. And what if I don't
Yes.
like that price? Then you know my
If you
secret.
don't like the price, then don't sell the secret. Name another
It's a
place
risk.
which would buy a secret from you.
I do know someone else that would buy the secret from me. Actually, it is a really good one, and I think.
Oh
that,
yeah, you know that person. I forgot about that guy. Yeah.
Roll a
when,
deception check?
I mean,
Or persuasion
yeah.
if you are telling the truth and I just don't coin on.
No, I'll do deception. I guess it's partially
I guess he doesn't buy them off you, right? Like you get them for him.
only a 12. That's a very low roll.
And you
I
can
have a
sell
plus
the
that.
secret to that person. But I
Interesting.
risk enough.
It is interesting how it works. So. Yeah, I guess
I
it
would like
wouldn't
that
really
2
matter to
silver
you.
secret on Aldrid, please. And I
Oh.
2 silver on the counter.
Before you answer that, I'm going to head outside. I don't know. I feel weird about knowing people's personal secrets.
I thought you were
Draven's going with
curious.
Juno.
I'm curious about the world. I'm curious about history,
are the
about
world.
life. Yeah, but this feels wrong.
Willoughby's
Willoughby's
gonna link her because he has other things he wants to ask that are not related to this guy.
Draven
Yeah,
goes
so
with you,
does
Eldred.
Lena.
Draven goes to Juno.
He turned into a baby. He has had an affair
Oh no,
with a
Aldrid.
woman named Throg.
Named what?
Throg.
Thraug.
Throg.
That is sad.
Okay. Dang, I would price that higher if I were you. That's a good one.
The personal secrets of people are easy sells.
I have a question. How far back do your secrets go?
As far back
Yeah,
as the temple
oh.
goes.
How old is this temple, Joe?
Temple would have been there since the time that you were around.
Lena,
long as I
does
know
that give you an idea of how much your secret would go for? Because that was not much.
I'm going to say over the psychic bond that is still up. I mean, we all know a very, very important, very, very big secret right now about Burka that potentially no one else knows.
Yeah.
I would not want to sell that secret for cheap. And I also would not necessarily want to sell that secret if I wasn't always also going to be able to act on it pretty quickly before someone else could.
Through the
I just wanted to know how much it would go for is all. I'm not saying we should sell it. I just was curious.
There's no saying we're going to get any payout for acting on that secret anyways, as it is.
I think I would not want to have competition acting on it necessarily.
I think if we go to the secret keepers and we can get rid of this problem, I think that it sounds like they need help. I think if we go and get rid of this problem, we stop the baby water, then they owe us a
Maybe
favor.
we get enough to get
maybe we
Draven
ask we ask for gold, we ask for whatever. Maybe they help tell us something that's useful, or we get gold or whatever. But I mean, I'm whatever you want to do. But that's I think that we should go to the secret keepers about it. But
I say you sell it and then we solve it ourselves.
If the price is high enough on the sale of the secret, who's to say anyone's even going to purchase it anytime soon?
Sorry, I say to the secret person.
Sorry, she's very pensive.
I like to really think things through before I do them. It's like, I'm sort of used to a little bit of like haggling back and forth sometimes on prices and stuff, and I was trying to determine like if I had a secret that would affect, all of Burka that no one else knew, how much I should ask for that. And then if I told you again, my bargaining power goes away slightly, and you just tell me, oh, it is, 200 gold I said was like the biggest secret, and I'm like, no, that is worth way more than 200 gold.
We have a code. Whatever we sell the secret for, whatever price we offer to you, we have to sell it at that price. We do not.
We do have.
I risk enough that when I set a secret at a certain price, it is to the betterment of both of us. If your secret is widely known, and I know it is widely known, then you will get very little.
I tap Lane on the shoulder, and then I'm going to tap my head.
Okay. I will,
Were you already in my head? I don't know.
No, because I can't get all of us just yet.
That's right.
So, I will drop it, and then I will just do it again. And I'll do, I already know what Willoughby wants to do, because he was like, just sell it, right? You were like, yeah, fuck it, sell it, whatever, let's see. So I'll do Eldred, Juno, and Draven, and I'll expend one of my die to do so this time.
I still have hesitations about selling. But if you're trepidatious, ask how much a secret costs for what is currently in the bowl of Frigga right now.
That's true. That is a good idea. I don't even know
Or
if I
causing
really...
the baby.
Like, I'm not saying we should sell it. I just was curious, right? But that is a good idea. We can just ask him how much it would be to know that, right? Does he know?
But don't imply that don't give it away that there's something in the jar.
Well, I think that if this person's smart enough, they will probably work out that we know.
Yeah.
They'll work out that we know that's the secret you're sort of umming and ahhing about selling.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll
Which
put
is
two and two
sort of
together.
okay. I mean,
if they know, it's not a fault, but if they know we would lose so much than we would be expecting by saying the secret.
So you want me to ask him in?
To keep this guy busy while they're talking, I'm gonna
causing the water
silver
to
and ask for a
babies.
secret about Aldrid's wife. Don't worry about it. It's just like while they're talking.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't actually need it. Yes, you want.
You'd get a secret along the lines of like, actually, Aldrid is the person that's involved in the affair, but it's through Throg's husband that he's the third wheel essentially, and that actually
okay.
You'd hear that the husband is renowned as an idiot.
Oh no. Talk about drama.
But Aldrid did tell us he was married, right? He said he had a wife.
Yeah, and the kid who's 11, older than him now. That's sad. Okay. Wow, Eldred's life is pretty fucked up, huh? Wait, hold on, you said you had a secret for 50 gold about him, and we already know that. Okay, let's not think about that. I have a question. I guess, is there does anybody know what's causing the baby water? That shit's pretty crazy. That's how we know about it, because we met Aldrid because he was the first shop we went into, and now he's 8.
So rephrase that?
She wants to know, does anybody know what is causing the baby water?
Okay.
How much is that secret?
Yeah, okay.
No one has figured it out yet. If this is something that is known, then it has not been spilled in the temple yet. Beyond one. But it gives us no information. someone came into the temple and said they did it. So if you know who that is, I'll make a reasonable sum.
Well, that is interesting. Imagine just walking right into that temple and saying the thing that you have done that nobody knows, and you just say, I did it. And then you walk right out. Man, nobody like... Wait, how do you even get your secrets? Like, oh, because like you overhear them, right? So it's not like the secret keepers were like, oh shit, get that person. They like said they did it. Interesting. What if I did know who did it?
Then I'll offer you a sum.
I have another question.
Yes.
Have a lot of people asked you this? What is the cause of the baby water?
No.
No. Has anyone asked you what is the cause of the baby water?
No one down here cares.
That's
People
fair. I
don't
guess
trade
they're
for
making money
secrets up
on
on
it.
the top side. I think you're forgetting where you are. You do not
This
trade
isn't just like a
secrets
shop, yeah.
with Frigga. When a secret is told to the temple, it is forbidden to exchange that secret. That is why no one else will be buying secrets, because secrets are not sold by anyone else. I am a rare breed. None of the other secret keepers are selling secrets. That is a secret you can have for free.
I will say over the bond. Do we want to sell it? Do we want to just take care of it?
I say
don't
take care
know.
of it. We
Do
could still
both.
sell it afterwards.
I
Sell
think
it
so.
first. We go deal with it today.
Again,
One last
if I
question.
offer you a
Sorry, go
gold
ahead.
sum for a secret, if I ask for too little, I have to sell it at that low point. That is my rule. Meaning, it is in my greater favor that if your secret is worth it, that I can put you in a much more wealthy circumstance. If your secret is worth 300 gold, then I can sell it at 300 gold. But if your secret is worth 300 gold and I only ask you for 20, then I must sell that at 20.
So you wouldn't profit no matter what. So why do you do this?
I profit. I buy your secret for 300 gold, I sell it to 10 more people for 300 gold each.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. Once it's sold, you can keep selling. Ah, interesting.
Yes. But I will not sell it at any lower, unless the secret starts to become more wide known.
Mm.
So,
All right, the last question for you. Sorry
Last
for so
question.
many questions. Do you like... What do you have, like, shop hours? Or are you just here all the time? If I want to think about giving you my secret and then I come back later to give it to you after I have told no one else. Like, will you be here? Are you always here?
no. I'm here rarely, every few days.
Every few days.
But I will not tell you when.
That's a secret. I
You
get
don't
it.
see them, but they are smiling. You can hear it.
How do you verify that a secret is true? Are you just really good at reading people?
I have an excellent eye for very minute movements.
Oh,
Yes. I read you
cool.
well.
All right. Thank you for your time. I won't ask you your name.
I would not give it.
I will not ask you for your name.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, well. I sit back in that chair.
Willoughby's gonna hang back if everyone else is leaving.
Yeah, step out.
I was already out.
Does everyone leave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Willoughby leans forward to the secret keeper, knowing that he has secrets from centuries ago when this temple was built. So I have a question regarding if you possess secrets on a specific disappearance from a couple centuries ago. Do you possess any secrets regarding the cartographer Erland Branson and his disappearance?
I have none on his disappearance. I do have one on him, though.
And how much is that secret worth?
2 gold.
Willoughby hands over 2 gold.
It is said that this cartographer accrued a bill of several hundred gold in an inn.
He fucking got you, dude.
And did not pay back.
Fucking GG.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And he's never gonna pay it, I'll tell you that much.
Exactly that he's dead. This is a very old secret.
Well, I can tell you a secret right now. He isn't. And Willoughby walks out the door.
Oh. You close the door.
Willoughby doesn't even want the payment. He's just
get
like,
that one
fuck
for
you.
free.
That was good.
So,
Because we're stepping out. So we're not doing. We're trying to do this the right way. We're going to secret keepers.
Okay, you didn't sell the.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
I think I'll say it out loud because I can't get everyone in the thing. So otherwise, Willoughby wouldn't know now that he's come out. I spent a really long time gathering information, right, and passing it along. And look what it got me. I don't know that I want to just pass it along anymore without knowing where it is going and who will act on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't think it matters though, because we're going to act on it like immediately.
That's true.
I thought.
I don't like the idea of, and it is not, first of all, it is our secret. It is not my secret. It was just, I want to bring it up. But I don't love the idea of potentially someone interfering as we try to take care of things. I think it will be a little bit slippery, and I don't like to, I think subconsciously she's taken the coin out of her pocket again, and she's flicking it across her fingers. There are some things that I don't mind leaving to chance, right? Some things that it is like, let us see how it goes. I don't mind either way, right? One thing about being able to change what you look like is I can just start over somewhere else if everything goes terrible, right? I don't care. I'll just leave. Start over. I've done it plenty of times. This one I don't want to invite an opportunity for chaos, I guess.
Elena, do you want us to save this child?
I think tricks are fine. I have thought that most of my life. Some things are funny, right? The point of a trick is that people don't really know that it is going to come, right? And then you do it and it's like, surprise, that is funny, right? It's not funny. There are people that are going to become a baby, right? And they don't know. If you can control it, if this was something that was like, hey, let's take it, whatever, you're going to, that is someone making a choice for themselves.
Or if it was temporary. This might be permanent. They might be this way forever. It doesn't...
Yeah. I get to choose what I look like. I get to choose what I become, right? I can look like a child if I want. I'm not actually a child, but I can look like one. And I don't like that other people aren't having the choice. I would like us to find this person and talk to them.
Okay.
But if we can't, we can't.
Understood.
Okay.
Or
Sure.
We don't really interact with each other a lot. We tend to keep it secret and not let others know. I would be interested to see what he is doing.
Sure. If that's what you want to do, we help you do it. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. We get this person. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go.
Let's go.
And with that, you're heading out to deal with a trickster who is putting the entirety of Burka into a difficult situation. But we are reaching time, so we'll have to call tonight's episode there and see what happens with it next week.
Baby water.
Yes, the episode is called Baby Water and YouTube Pranksters.
Hell yeah.
We need to get one more baby water in.
Aldrid drama.
Look, there was a part of me when I was writing this episode where I was like, what if the whole pie just decided to drink and become babies? What do I do?
What do I do?
Rugrats.
Did you come up with something?
Party.
No, I just decided the campaign would probably end there and you'll have to make new characters. And we'd find out what happens to your characters in 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it'd be Willoughby looking after all of you as babysitter.
Yeah.
There ain't no way Willoughby's taking care of you.
One tree man and 4
He's just standing there like...
Well, also, would it even work on Draven? So I like the idea of one tree man and a vampire. And it's
right?
3 men and a baby.
3 babies,
yeah. 3 men and a tree man. Yeah. 2 dads, a tree man dad, and a vampire
we wanted
dad.
to be adventurous.
And their 3 daughters running around.
Well, thanks everyone for playing. Welcome to Burka. There's plenty more to see in this wonderful little city. But for now, you've explored some of the fun little bits. Water. No, it's good. I mean, you solved it pretty quickly by flying up there.
GG Draven.
So
utility abilities, man. It's not always about combat damage.
Exactly. Yeah. Very smart. Very smart. Well, thanks everyone for playing. Let's go ahead and do some shout outs and we'll let you guys all shoot off. Let's go from Mark and go around that way.
Sherlock Humes. There is either an underscore in the middle, there is an underscore at the end. On Twitch, it is at the end. On Twitter, it is in the middle. On other places, there is no underscore. You can also follow my D&D show, High Rollers D&D. It's on before Godforged. I am done.
Oh, gee.
Sometimes I like to try to figure out how I'm going to follow someone. I have an underscore in my Twitter name. It's oldlady_gamer because an actual old woman who plays games had old lady gamer all one word. And I'm not bitter about it, but she hasn't tweeted in fucking years. But it's cool. I wish her well. I hope she has an awesome life. And then on Twitch, it would just be old lady gamer, which you actually might want to keep an eye on. Maybe sometime. What? Go to the next person.
You did the what yourself. Tomorrow.
That's what
I am
funny,
done.
Joe, you ruined the joke.
You're done.
I'm done.
That's it. He's done.
You got a tab for me, dude. You got a tab to give me an... I wanted 60 outros from you by the end. You're racking up a goddamn tab.
Well, we know how he goes with tabs, Joe.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Twitch.tv/Tomorrow. You know where to find me. He plays all sorts of games. We're playing Dead Space today. Brizzy.
Twitch.tv/BrizzyVoices.
Nice.
Twitter.com/BrizzyVoices. Instagram.com/BrizzyVoices. Etc.
Audio Jungle.
Oh yeah, that's literally what I was
exactly
thinking.
like it.
Audio jungle.
Hey, it's your boy Game. You can find me at Gabe James Games, but if you call me Mr. James, my middle. I feel like people need to know that. I've been called Mr. James so goddamn much. I hate. Yeah, it's so weird. Mr. James.
Clearly, Mr. Games.
Yeah, it's obviously Mr. Games. Duh. It's like the last name.
But
Come on.
Gabe James Games. I also like OLG might be. Well, actually, I have a stream schedule that's going up.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. You said you don't have a stream schedule. You were like, I don't have a schedule. You just gotta follow me. And no,
it took me a week.
Sire.
You changed that.
One.
Chaos.
No,
Chaos
I can't
is not
believe
needed.
anything that you say now.
People change and things change.
You're the one wishing ill wishes on a woman
Things
who might be
don't
dead.
change. Nothing changes.
She's old lady gamer. She hasn't posted in like 2 years.
I said I hope she has a great life.
It
To
might
be fair-
over.
To be fair,
It might be.
my
Actually, I haven't looked
Twitch
in a long
stealer,
time.
the Twitter stealer for me at Joe Fudge, I think he did die. If you go and look at
Yeah, we
his,
do think
if you
that,
go and
that's
look at his
lovely.
tweets, he's just tweeting normally, and then suddenly he goes, "Oh, these clam sandwiches or something are really tasty,"
Yes.
and then suddenly it stops.
It's always,
Yeah,
it's always some kind
like
of
it's a
fucking
dodgy
shellfish,
fish.
dude.
It's a dodgy fish, man.
Some mollusk
We
gets
wish
you
him the
every
best out
time.
there, that guy. Twitch.tv/JoeFudge.
wherever you
You can
are.
find me on all this. Snail Blazers on Wednesday. Godforge on a Sunday after High Rollers. There's a Patreon. There's a Discord. Go and check them all out. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks, everyone, for playing as per usual. We'll see you for episode 30 next Friday. See you then. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.